nowhere this year.
Yeah, Trandon Harvey was not on their radar as they went into the season. You had guys like Randy Gatewood, Cosmo DiMatteo. Those were the names you're thinking were catching balls this year. Trandon Harvey, though, has done a very nice job filling the void, making very nice catches and big catches when they need them.
All right, well, both teams absolutely must have a win to keep any semblance of playoff hopes alive. Coming up next, it's the Arizona Rattlers hosting the Austin Wranglers on FSN.
I was picking up our son from school. One of my neighbors saw the gardener hanging around the back door. We don't have a gardener. But we do have ADT. It actually helps stop break-ins from happening.
ADT can help protect you from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save more than $250 on ADT's family package, plus special discounts for AARP members.
ADT works. Just ask the bad guys.
ADT, always there.
This is not an event for the weak. It's a test of strength, endurance, and just plain toughness. 8 cowboys for the first time ever in 3 head-to-head rides, fighting each week for the chance to be crowned the toughest cowboy. Sunday on FSN.
Tonight on the FSN, final score presented by DirecTV. In the NBA, the Warriors try to recapture the Magic at home, facing an 0-2 hole to the resilient Jazz. And to Sawgrass, where Tiger tries to tame his struggling putter and get back in contention at the Players' Championship. Plus, on the ice, the Western Finals get underway. The Ducks and Red Wings continue their chase for the Cup into Motor City. All that and more coming up tonight on the FSN Final Score.
Kickoff here in the first half and second half. You'll notice a brand new football they'll use here, a special one by Spalding, painted up in pink. After it's kicked off, they'll present it to one lucky mom in the crowd in honor of Mother's Day. They'll do it throughout the AFL this weekend. Also, these balls will be available online, autographed by the teams. Go to arenafootball.com with the funds going to the Jimmy V Foundation in Cancer Research. Boys, it should be great fun. Some mom's going to have a great celebration tonight after they kick off here in the first half. Let's go back upstairs to Dale and Glenn.
All right, thank you, Kevin. As we get ready to kick off, the Austin Wranglers won the toss. They deferred. The Arizona Rattlers will take it. This will be Mark Lewis getting set to kick off. Now remember, Dale, Joe Avisano, football consultant for the Wranglers, old-time special teams guy, lots of tricks. You know his methods.
Oh, he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. I think he is just a consultant. I'm sure he's back there watching, and I'm sure it'll be interesting watching how this special teams of the Wranglers unfolds.
Well, that was Brian Partlow there, the head coach, young guy, taking over at the Austin Wranglers franchise. Now, both teams desperately need a win here. And of course, we've talked about turnovers. Scoring is up a little bit this year due to the specific rules on substitutions. And here we get set. The kick is up. He'll play it off the net. Of course, he breaks one or two. That's a great, in the AFL, we have to tell people, they have to try to take it out of the end zone. And if you get past the 5, it's a great return. That's Jones on the return. He goes all the way out to the 21-yard line. He sets up Cedric Bonner in a great job with his offense here.
Yeah, and obviously you see the numbers there on Cedric Bonner. Dale Jones is a game breaker. You watch as this game unfolds. The Wranglers do not want to put the ball in his hands, because you put the ball outside the 20-yard line. That's great field position.
Well, we'll go look at this offense for the Rattlers right here with Ced Bonner, needing only 198 yards to reach that 40,000 plateau, Dale. But, we've become so accustomed to Bonner flicking the ball so fast out of his stance. There he is, and that's right down It's complete. It's at the 2. That's a fantastic job of finding Ataf Harris out there. That, you know, Ataf Harris is a guy, he's a lot like Trandon Harvey in that he's kind of come on as this year's moved along.
Well, everything starts up front there with good protection for Sad. If you give Bonner protection up front, he will complete passes. And then just a nice route by Harris here. Ball's put the only place where it could be where he can catch it. He comes down with it inside the 5-yard line. And now what's interesting about this game is now there's a little confusion on the Rattlers sidelines because they're sending the kicking team on. They did not score a touchdown. It's going to be inside the 5-yard line. But what's interesting now is for arena football teams inside the 5-yard line,
it's tough.
It gets very hard to score down there.
Well, you know, think about it. On a regular football field that's 53.5 yards wide, you got a 10-yard end zone. You've got those 22 players plus 5 refs. Well, now here, you've got 16 players, 5 refs, and it's less than half of that size. So it gets cramped real fast in there. And that's why you like those big, wide receivers in the red zone, because they can use their body, they can shield people, and you can get the ball and put it on their body.
And the other thing is, as you take a look at the Rattlers right here, they do have a jumbo package where they actually try to run the
football. As do we right now.
Yes, yeah. in the booth here. But they have Wendell Gaines in here now as a blocking along with Bo Kelly. So they have extra blocking and look for them to try and run or fake the run and then throw the pass right there.
Yeah, that's a nice job. It's like you knew it was coming.
I got to tell you, I was out of practice this week. I had the fortune of talking with Seth Bonner just a little bit. The last few weeks, they've turned around, handed the ball off, hand the ball. He said maybe on the first time we're inside the 5-yard line, we'll fake the handoff. And one of our guards said, doesn't matter if it's Amy or if it's Gaines. He said, you know what, all of them can.
Yeah, Vince Amy there blocks down, acts like he's blocking down, and just slides out the backside. And that backer on the backside, Jack Backer, never sees him. And how about Vince Amy? There's a touchdown. One for his mom. What do you think?
One for his mom, and he caught one before his brother, who's on the Wrangler team, who is a wide receiver.
That's right. Now, that was Pete Christopoulos on the extra point. Arizona Rattlers, it's 7-0 over the Austin Wranglers.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface. It often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
The Arena Football League is looking for courageous men and women who can catch. Go to an AFL game near you. Call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
Your Valley Honda dealers are revving up the savings on the most fuel-efficient cars in America. The race to savings is on. Be a winner in your hot new Honda Accord with automatic, remote entry, cruise control, and more for just $199 a month. Or 2.9% financing on Accords and Civics. The race to savings is heating up daily at your Valley Honda dealers.
Ooh, you know you got the Honda fever.
What a great design of a football play. You watch Vince Amy right here. He's going to act like he's blocking. Watch the Wranglers bite on the run fake, which the Rattlers have done the last few weeks, and then sneak out in the flat. Perfect execution. Nice soft hands by Big Vince.
Yeah, good job by Vince. Hey, let's go down to Kevin McCabe, who's got Mr. Amy down there.
Yeah, he got the first touchdown here. He beat out his brother Otis Amy, who's playing on the other side. Big family affair tonight. Mom's here.
That's right.
How big is that to get the first touchdown in the family tonight?
And now it's big. You know, he's a receiver, so I'm sure he'll catch a cold tonight. But just to get that first one out the way, got him, you know, so I got hands too.
This is fun, though. And the first time you got together since you guys were kids.
Oh, yeah, since we were kids, man. We've, playground. That's the only time. But now this is crazy. I keep looking at him and just tripping. I'm seeing him on the same field with me.
Talking track with him, too.
Oh, yeah. All day long.
I love it, guys. Vince Amy, touchdown here. We'll talk with his mom. We'll talk with Otis. But right now, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Cedric Robinson brings it out to about the 5-yard line. and Austin Wranglers. And Lane Campbell will get his first chance as a starting quarterback here, where he gets a chance to get some things done. Let's take a look at the Champs offensive lineups. This is your Austin Wranglers. Lane Campbell at quarterback. That's the big news. His big target, of course, wide receiver Derek Lewis. Otis Amy, the brother of Vince Amy, in that lineup.
And you want to say big. Watch Aaron Gibson, number 96 for the Wranglers. They list him at 375. Yeah. And if he's a biscuit under 400, Glenn, then I am under 300.
All right, well, let's take a look. This is Sakeen Wright out in the flat. Nice strike to him. That's the way you get a young quarterback used to the game. Get him in the rhythm, let him throw a few things. Let's go to the Champs defensive lineup for the Arizona Rattlers. Wendell Gaines, long time man there. Vince Amy, of course, we know. Who else you got for us?
Probably the best pass rusher in arena football is Wendell Gaines, but keep an eye right here on these three guys. How well they play will determine the outcome of this football game.
All right, as we get set, Otis Amy is at the bottom of the screen as Lane Campbell comes out, and he'll throw long, and it's complete. That is Derek Lewis, of course. You know, look at the size of Aaron Gibson.
You know what? I mean,
did he eat one of the wide receivers?
I mean, 6'6", 370 pounds, I promise you.
Now remember, he was a first-round draft pick of the Detroit Lions a few years ago out of Wisconsin, and he's a guy that probably just a little too big. Guys took a long time to run around him, but he couldn't move his feet in the NFL.
It'll be interesting to see the matchups tonight. Can he keep Wendell Gaines and Jeff Ruffin off his quarterback?
Well, here's the fake pitch out to Otis Amy. He's got nowhere to go. Defense very well by the Arizona Rattlers. Now, you know what? One of the things, we always talk about this, how about a little intimidation? This is Derek Lewis, their favorite target. Watch the shot he's about to take. Oh, yeah, you have to sit down. We don't care if you throw it behind the line of scrimmage. We're coming after you.
Well, that's a young kid. William Fields signed last week, played the first time last week, and he's done a nice job. He's going to be playing better as the season goes along, playing very physical, which is what Gene Noodle is looking for.
Well, we got a penalty flags down, obviously a offensive penalty with a offside.
Unabated to the quarterback.
Well, he came across and touched someone.
I think they're going to get Wendell Gaines.
You think they're going to get him? He's trying to get around that big fella.
And it's all about quickness.
See, you know, there's one thing you talk about. This is where his size can aid him in this game as opposed to the outdoor game. Because the ball's gone so fast and because the corner is so short, that size aids him. Whereas in the outside game, the outdoor game, there's enough time and enough space for a fast guy to get around a big guy like that and get to the quarterback. Campbell back again. This time he takes Derek Lewis over on the side. It's good for about 4 yards. You know, once again, so far his receptions have all been short, out to the weak side, or behind the line of scrimmage. Very simple stuff. Take a look at Lewis at the bottom. Runs the route, comes up, and he's just going to stop at the board. Turn around, and there's the ball in his face. It got to him really unexpectedly. The ball was supposed to go to the man in motion over the top, and it didn't. It was well covered.
Art Smith, nice job coverage there. This is where the Rattlers had trouble. They've played well for 2 downs defensively. Can they hold them here on 3rd down?
Campbell will drop back. Decent protection again. He's got the man in the back. That's Otis Amy. And that'll be a touchdown. So the Amy brothers are doing pretty well. 100% in the touchdown.
Very, very nice. And it's a nicely devised play. And again, like you said, young quarterback. He steps in. Lane Campbell starting, again, trying to get this team going. Short passes, quick passes, and completed passes. Nice route by Otis Amy there deep in the end zone. Finds an opening there, back corner, and he beats the defender, William Fields, for the touchdown.
Well, this will be Mark Lewis for the extra point. Now remember, what is it, about 9 feet wide. It's very tough to make the extra points in this league, and does that, tying up the game. Now you take another look at this touchdown as we go to break. He'll find Otis Amy, the man in motion, over the top. You see him in the back of the end zone there. And it's now tied at 7. Arena football.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander. Out everything. Everything.
I was walking down the street. I saw a poster.
on next Saturday's contest.
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
Welcome back to Arena Football on FSN. We're tied 7-7. Now it's time now for our Shut Sports Top 12 poll. Georgia Force are looking great at 9-1. They were in here earlier in the year and dominated the Rattlers. Desperados, always strong, and Mike Hohensee at Chicago's got that team playing very, very well.
The interesting thing is you take a look down here, though. When you talk about the two teams that are playing tonight,
oh, they're all right in
Wranglers
range.
And the Rattlers, you are still in the playoff hunt. But again, you can't think that way. For either one of these teams, in my mind, you have to win the first quarter. You win the first quarter, then you got to win the first half. And it's all about playing good football.
Right, this is Daryl Jones back, and he's got the ball again. He's out to about the 5 and shut down. That's what we talk. That's that magic spot on returns, of course. Well, let's take a look at our chance. Arizona Rattlers offensive line, Cedric Bonner, not much more can be said about him. Kevin McKenzie, a longtime Iron Man, is in that lineup. I don't know if he's actually there. I believe he's been moved down onto the IR, if I'm not certain.
Yeah, their receiving core has just been decimated.
That's right. And Trandon Harvey has become that target that they thought Kevin McKenzie was going to be the guy at the start of the year. So as we get set, Cedric Bonner under, he's got Bo Kelly behind him. Take a look at this lineup. That's Harris out. He finds Harris against the wall. It's good for about 7.5 or 8. Now, of course, now it's time for the Champ Sports Wranglers defense, and we'll see what they've got going. Dane Krager, Rob Schroeder, Ramon Richardson, of course, a pretty darn good player, but Sakeen Wright's a guy that's got to make some plays for them on defense if they're going to stop the Rattlers.
Well, that's the thing that's hampered the Rattlers for the past month and a half, the fact that there's been that 1 or 2 series where they haven't scored. It's going to be up to the Wranglers to make sure they do that again tonight.
Bonner with a handoff to Kelly, trying to get that running first down. It'll be 3rd down in less than a yard from about the 14.5-yard line. So I like that, though. You know, right now we've seen a lot of different offense out of Arizona in a matter of about 5 plays.
Yes, they've kind of showed you everything. And talking with Seth Bonner earlier this week, he said, you know what, with the young receivers, because you always ask a quarterback, young receivers, do you have to alter your game plays? He feels they're running about 65 to 70% of their offense because of the revolving door receiver, trying to keep it simple.
Well, now it's Atnaff, Harris, and Fagan at the wide receiver core. Harvey in motion. They'll run it. Bo Kelly over the top. They get the first down. They're going to make this kind of slide, you know, kind of get this thing going slow. Let's go down to Kevin McCabe with Otis Amy.
That's right. It's a family affair. The Amy family reunion here. Mom's Day. She's up in the stands. Otis Amy gets a touchdown for the Wranglers. Your brother got the first one. He was talking trash over there. You know that.
He's going to be talking trash the rest of the night after the after the game, but I had to answer back. So I think that's going to be the only one he gets tonight. I'm going to get a few more.
How much fun is this for you? How much of a challenge is it for you with your brother on the field?
Oh, it's a big challenge growing up. You know, he's bigger than me. Always beat me up. Now I get to play him at the field. Hopefully I can make something happen so we never be able to live it down again.
It's all about the W, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Bragging rights for you to go home Thanksgiving, all that, huh?
Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything.
All right, Otis Amy with 1, Vince Amy with 1. Let's go back upstairs, boys.
All right, thanks, Kevin. On that previous 3rd down play, Bo Kelly was spotted short of the first down that was 4th. And right there, Cedric Bonner found Trandon Harvey for about a 5-yard gain on a little curl, and that'll get him the first down now from about the 19. And Arizona is definitely slowing the pace of this game down.
Well, they are, because they put drives together. And again, they're not an explosive offense so much as they are a plodding offense to where they do want to keep the possessions to a minute.
That was Fagan in motion. He'll find Harvey underneath. Harvey at about the 15. You know, that's one of the things we talk about. Seth Bonner got hit at the end of this play. Big, strong guy, takes the shot, makes the throw. There's going to be a penalty flag coming up. Let's take a look at what happens to Seth here towards the end of this play.
Well, and again, it all stems from protection.
Number 98, hands to the face. 10-yard penalty.
Oh, they're going offensive.
Half the distance to the goal, previous spot.
You see Wendell Gaines take the man's helmet off.
Yeah, actually it was Vince Amy. And you know what? That's one of those, Glenn, when you end up the play with your opponent's helmet in your hand.
I say it's a success.
It's probably.
I'm winning at that.
You know, it's very hard. You take a look at the top here. Now watch as he's just pass blocking. Watch him get his right hand up in the grill there. pushback. Now he's got to get it off there. No.
Got to take it off.
He's going to hang on, and you know what? As you're sitting there, Ramon Richardson, you talked about him earlier, a great pass rusher, but Vince, you got to get the hand off the face man.
All right, so they're in a hole here. It's first and about 20. Instead of look, he's got Fagan on the sideline. That's good. You know, that's a good way to back up that 12. Now, going back, you know, Vince Amy there, talk about, he has it in his hand. Now, what do you do with it? Because I know, you and I, we're thinking, do I hit him with it?
I mean, you got to drop it.
You got to drop it fast.
It's hard to look at the ref and go, what are you calling it?
I got nothing. This is nothing. The helmet in my hand, forget it.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, you know what? Again, he's just trying. It's hard to block.
Absolutely.
It's hard to pass block. You should have a few of those things going your way.
Sed Bonner's got Fagan down below. He's got Adnaf Harris and Trandon Harvey up, and Fagan goes in motion. This is out quick to Trandon Harvey. It's good for about 7. Take it back, about 5. It'll be third and about 3. I really like the fact that Arizona has, you know, and Sed Bonner, they're not going for the home run ball. And earlier in the year, we saw them consistently try to go deep and were not successful, and they kept hurting their defense. Their defense was exhausted by the end of the game. And here they are saying, we are going to make drives, eat clock, and keep our defense very well rested, because that's something in the AFL that you used to not have to do, Dale.
No, and we talked about it, and we'll get into it after this play.
This is Fagan in over-the-top motion this time again. Looked like the ball's on the ground, and it is. And it's snapped up there.
I think Jerry Sharp carried the football. He said, "Whoa!" And I think there's going to be some type of penalty, because whenever there's guys going in which direction,
looked like movement on the line.
You're going to see right here. Watch this ball, and Jerry Sharp being very alert though, feels something between his legs. Hey. Go ahead, pick it up and go, Jerry.
Well, let's see what the official gives us here. There is a flag down, and they are discussing it.
Got to be illegal procedure by the Rattlers.
Almost kind of a fumble risky.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's going to get a carry. He's going to get positive yards. He gives him a makeable 4th down. And getting back to your point, I do like the fact that, okay, it's 1st and 20. Doesn't mean you got to make 20 yards on the first play. You pick up 10. Now you got a makeable 2nd and 3rd down rather than making it 2nd and long.
Yeah. Now at 4th and 2 from this spot, this is where it gets interesting. Do you run? Do you throw the short out, or do you just take your shot? A lot of teams take their shot here. I think Arizona tries for the first on a backside route, probably down. I don't want to guess, obviously, but Harris on the bottom where you would think they go. And they go to Harvey over the top. They take their shot. They lose it. That's a stop. There is a flag down. Now, depending on what this is huge, because it's a stop, and stops are a premium in Arena Football League.
There's absolutely no doubt. It's not time of possession. It's not turnovers. It's stops you keep track of.
Number 99 defense out of the stance. That 5-yard penalty results first down.
Well, and what he's saying right there is the outdoor game, you can jump off sides if you're a defensive lineman, then jump back and get on sides. In Arena League, if you do not have your hand on the ground, you're going to see him right there in the middle of your screen. He has his hand up off the ground before the ball snapped. That's a penalty.
Yep. They have to declare who's rushing, and that's how they do it, with their hand down. That declares who's the rushman, who's coming, and if you don't have that, automatic 5 yards, as you just said. All right, so Harris on the bottom, Fagan in backup motion, and he'll throw to Fagan, and there was a miscommunication. Obviously, Cedric read one way, Fagan read the other. Miscommunication results in 2nd and 10.
Well, again, you take a look down the field, and Devron Harper there, very physical coverage. You're going to see him at top of the screen right there. Got a lot of read routes in this offense. Fagan on a different page than Bonner, and a lot of it had to do with the physicality that Devron Harper.
I just like hearing you say physicality.
Yeah, well, you know what? Joe Avazano is actually the first person I ever heard use that word, and I challenged him because I think he just made it up.
It could well be.
I said you can't just put ality on top of any word and make it a word.
Why not? We live in these type of times. We can do that if we want. That's Trandon Harvey over the middle on just a straight curl. You know, they're doing a lot of things against this Wrangler team. Wranglers are sitting back. They're sitting in almost a zone. I hate to call it that because you know how things work in the Arena Football League. Things are so often half, but they're sitting back and allowing a lot of things underneath. Trandon Harvey takes advantage of it, finds that little hole, sits down, and Bonner, you can't give Bonner that type of throw.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, to me, it all starts up front. And those 3 big guys, Zach Rupp and Jerry Sharp, who's been around forever, and Vince Amy inserted into the starting lineup tonight. You give Sed Bonner time, and he will move the football.
Well, they start with Harvey on tight position here, and they'll use him to bring the jackbacker over there. And that's, that's an interesting way of setting up a run to Bo Kelly by bringing your wide receiver in almost as a, he's not really blocking, but he acts like he's kind of blocking.
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's like you take a look at, why are you bringing 23 in here? Because he's really not going to block anybody. He kind of stands there, gets in the way, and runs in behind Bo Kelly.
Wranglers do a great job. You see Wright. You see that's a lot of these guys. Sakeen Wright, the guy we talked about very early on. A good job of getting in there, getting their hips low, their butt down, and using leverage to stop that run. Said Bonner will step back, right in Trandon Harvey's hands, and he dropped it. And when you're a Wrangler DB at this point, you're thinking that's not too bad.
No, if you're a Wrangler
like
DB,
that.
If you're a Rattler fan, you're saying, okay, what happened there? He runs a very nice route, ball's thrown right where you want it, nobody around him. Are you thinking, what's my touchdown celebration going to be? Are you thinking how good it's going to look on Fox Sports?
Yeah.
Is Glenn Parker going to say my name right? I mean, all those things go through your mind in a hurry, and he dropped the ball. But again, it puts them into a situation now where it's 3rd and goal.
Bonner back this time. Hey, look at there. I always love when a guy like Zach Rupp gets a touchdown. Big man. And are they calling it no touchdown? I take that back. He dropped the ball. Pardon my mistake. See, I was so excited for an offensive lineman to get it, I just jumped at it. I was like, all right.
The replay, it would have been a very nice catch on his part, and as he comes down, the ball comes loose.
Well, let's take a look. This is good. Bonner gets the ball right to him. Rupp, has to go up for it. That's a phenomenal defensive play to strip that ball. That is Sakeen right there, and he just does a great job of stripping the ball. This is a 19-yard kick here by Christopher. And it is good, and the Rattlers. Well, we got a flag down, and that ball bounced out.
It looked like it
bounced. You and I tell you, I have lost my eyesight in this building all of a sudden. And we'll look at the fan.
And his name is Christopher.
That's our Aaron's lucky fan of the game.
Ball will be placed at the 10-yard line following the 5-yard penalty. First down.
All right, so there's a 5-yard penalty. The ball is at the 10.
And that is a stop.
And that counts as a stop. Well, here's your not touchdown again. As it's stripped out, we go to break. Arizona 7, Austin 7, FSN.
Do what we pay you to do, fellas. Do what we pay you to do.
Here it comes. Run that back.
You gotta be kidding me. I told you to watch that.
Ooh, wow, that was like the Great Wall of China coming at me.
Now let's take it slow.
I can't believe this.
Do you have like a backhoe or something to pick up my dignity?
Arena football, road to glory. Rated E for ages 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in the game.
All AFL quarterbacks have favorite plays.
So what's my favorite play?
My favorite play is 50 pig switch.
Blue 92.
Gets him every time.
I like to fool him with the quarterback sneak.
Bishop runs it in for the score.
We should get a quick 6. Just something simple.
I'm pretty sneaky.
Right 90, wing cell, Z delay slant.
Right yo-yo 82 Poco.
You gotta throw him fast.
You gotta send him long.
Now, quarterback's gonna read this corner here.
The old 5-step drop.
No, the 3-step drop.
Are we talking about dancing or football?
Quarterback takes a quick 3 steps, hit the delay slant. And that's your basic 3-step route.
Well, we might not agree on a favorite play.
One thing we do agree on.
The best play of the AFL?
Is helping kids at Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
That's my favorite.
Touchdown!
I'm thinking of a number. Do you know what it is? It's 20 million. That's how many people have already checked their free Experian credit report at freecreditreport.com for some very good reasons.
Now we can monitor all 3 of our national credit reports every day.
It helps us save money and check for potential identity theft.
I got my credit report and credit score online in seconds.
Isn't it time to get your free credit report and score? Well, log on now to freecreditreport.com.
Offer applies with the Roman Triple Advantage.
Sunday, June 10th, Formula One racing comes to Fox for the first time as some of the world's greatest drivers attack the streets of Montreal in the Canadian Grand Prix. Coverage begins Sunday, June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox. Welcome back, everybody. Arena Football on FSN. We have a tie game Arizona, Austin, 7-7. That counts as a stop for the Wranglers. That was huge. Now, that last drive, the Arizona Rattlers went on a 12-play, 9-minute drive, which for arena football is dramatic, and they got 0 points out of it.
And that's the one negative to the whole thing. You do want to take time off the clock. You do want to control the ball, but you've got to come away with points.
Lang tries to find his man Derek Lewis, and Derek Lewis loses the handle on it, just as Trandon Harvey did earlier.
Well, the only scoring is done by two Amy brothers, and it's always interesting because I like to look at the rosters, and like we pointed out, you know, we talk about some people who have some weight problems. We're going to go back to the Amy brothers when we come back.
All right. Well, as we wrap things up here, we'll take a break. At the end of the first quarter, it's Arizona 7, Austin 7, Arena Football on FSN.
Come fall in love with Louisiana all over again.
Arena Football on FSN is brought to you by ADT, America's residential and commercial security leader, by Discover Card, the official credit card of the Arena Football League, and by Russell Athletic. For those that have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
Welcome back to Arena Football on FSN. Ball control is not something to talk about in the Arena Football. It's usually possessions or stops. Arizona has had the ball 10 minutes and 50 seconds in that first quarter. They come away with the same amount of points. It's all about that stop. Stops are all important. Lane Campbell back to throw, and that's his man Derek Lee over there. That's Derek Lewis over the boards, into the stands. That's a big hit by Fields on him, isn't it?
It was a really, really nice hit. What great
here's a great
coverage
view
by Fields, and again, a little bump there by Smith. Fields able to recover. The ball hung up a little bit. You know the boards are there. Great concentration to even have a chance to come down with that football. Now, Glenn, here we go again. It's third down. The Rattlers have done well for 2 downs. Can they now carry it over to that third and fourth down?
All right, Amy at the top of your screen. That's Robinson at the bottom. And that's Lewis in motion. Campbell will throw towards Amy. And that's Otis Amy with the touchdown. That's a great job of Campbell, seeing the coverage, throwing to a spot on the field, and finding the one guy he knows. When we talk matchups, the way things are looking, Arizona Rattlers have really settled on certain guys, and here's a look at it. Campbell steps back, and he knows where Amy is on this field, and he knows who's covering him and what he's got. It's a great throw by Campbell.
It's a very, very nice throw. To me, it all starts up front. That offensive line, who has struggled,
you're big.
Well, they struggled all season giving protection to the quarterback, mostly McPherson. Tonight they gave Campbell some protection. He's able to complete the ball.
Mark Lewis makes the extra point. 14-7, Austin Wranglers up. Campbell pretty fired up as the Wranglers lead 14-7. Arena Football on FSN.
No matter what kind of business you run, you'll run it better with the Discover Business Card. Need to pay vendors who don't take credit cards? Use fee-free purchase checks and still earn rewards. Need to turn expenses into income? Get 5% cashback bonus on office supplies and get 2% cashback bonus on gas. With solutions like fee-free purchase checks, you can take charge with the Discover Business Card.
A day, a month, a year, like no other, begins now. Win tickets daily for monthly cash prizes and a chance to take home the ultimate 7707 prize. The 2007 Year of Luck has begun at Casino Arizona. What are you waiting for?
After a brief incident that could have resulted in severe fines, I knew I needed an aggressive attorney who would fight hard. I found Phillips & Associates in the Yellow Pages and I called. My attorney handled all my court appearances so I could focus on my job. Phillips & Associates handled my case quickly and professionally. I would recommend Phillips & Associates to anyone.
Remember, an experienced attorney can make a difference. Call us right now, 602-258-8888.
We welcome back to the U.S. Airways Center here in Phoenix. The Austin Wranglers leading the Arizona Rattlers 14-7, and it's been all about the Amies. Otis Amy with 2 touchdowns for Austin, Vince Amy with a touchdown for Arizona, and Mama Amy's here with me now. Mother's Day, how sweet, how neat is this for you to watch both your boys?
Oh, it's so beautiful. I couldn't have expected more. This was great.
Now, who are you rooting for, though? Which one, the baby, or are you rooting for old Vince?
Well, I have to be honest, I'm rooting for both of them.
Okay. Who's going to get up and make you Mother's Day breakfast tomorrow morning?
Oh, Dad, Amy.
How neat is it to watch what the men they've become, growing up, gone through college and played some pro football and now playing against the men they've become? How neat is that for you?
Oh, that is so. I'm so proud of both of them, and it's because of their we've grounded them in the faith, of Jesus, and we're just so proud of them.
We are too, and we thank you. You've done a great job, Mom. Two great leaders for both their teams and their communities. Guys?
All right, thank you, Kevin. All right, that was Daryl Jones bringing it out to the 5-yard line. We got first down. Cedric Bonner in the backfield along with Bo Kelly. He's got Fagan, Harvey, and Harris. And that's Fagan in over-the-top motion, and he will look right to Fagan on that stop route and get himself about 8. Again, they come right out, and they're being very conservative, and they're going to take their time.
Well, they are, and that's fine to take your time. But also, like we said, you have got to get the ball in the end zone. And it's interesting, as you kick off down to the end that the Rattlers are now coming out of. You've got the facade, the Casino Arizona facade. You've also got some railings there. Sometimes that ball will bounce off there, take a funny bounce. Daryl Jones, talking to the referee, said it took a funny bounce off the rail there, and that could just throw your kickoff return all off kilter.
And if it does hit the facade, it is out.
Supposed to be out.
Yes.
Supposed to be a dead ball.
And that's what he looks for. That's Atnaf Harris, but doesn't quite get the ball out to him. And he takes, there's a lot of traffic around Cedric Bonner's feet, and that could affect how he threw that ball. As much as we like to think Bonner's got that great arm, it is hard to flick it out there. You take a look at his numbers so far, 8 for 12 with 80 yards. So he's about 18 short of the 40. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know if you know that.
Did you go back for your graduate degree?
I did all of that in my head right there. All that math.
Yeah.
That was pretty quick.
198 minus
the 80, and that comes out, to 118.
It only took you 7 years at U of A for
that? Well, if we were in England, it would have been different, but we're in Italy. So this time he overthrows Tran and Harvey. This is 2 times that Cedric Bonner's been off the mark right off the bat. Now you have to credit the up front of the Austin Wranglers. They are doing some things differently to create pressure right up in his face. Well, and that's what you have to do with Ced Bonner. Get it up in his face, not around the sides.
Well, they do, and any quarterback will tell you, when there's people rolling around your feet, you can't step into your throw. You're out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. But again, the other thing is new batch of receivers. A lot of the routes they run are read routes. That means the quarterback receiver have to be on the same page. Right there on the last 2 downs, they have not been.
And I'll go back to crediting Austin. They brought in fresh defensive linemen in Schroeder and Williams. This time, Ced finds Tran and Harvey, and there is a flag down. We'll see what the officials have caught him. I have a feeling that Jack might have left the box. What do you think?
Well, that's usually when you see a flag coming there, or maybe an illegal contact downfield.
Some sort of grab and hold, something like that. Got a little hold.
Defense. That penalty's declined. Play results, first down.
All right, so Cedric Bonner gets the first down. The clock is ticking. I've never, it's not something you see often in the Arena Football League, a team trying to slow the game down, but Arizona's doing it, and doing it effectively if they can only score some points.
Well, again, I don't know if they do it so much, by design, or they're taking what the defense is giving them. And then really, if you can make a team go 7, 8, 9, 10 plays, there's that much more of a chance that something's going to go wrong.
You've got to interception, fumbles. Yeah, give your defense those opportunities. You're right. This time he looks, and he's got Atnaf Harris down there, and Harris trying to be the center fielder, looking a little bit like Willie Mays over the shoulder, but doesn't get it done. And that's good defense. You've got to credit Deveron Harper there. He sees the ball. He gives a good shot to Atnaf Harris, and that's when the ball comes out. Now there's Bonner having to move off his feet, takes a little shot on that ankle. And then they go, look here, this is Harper, see that? He gives a good shot. That ball, that's a good job of playing defense, understanding where the ball's at, knowing that you're beat, getting your hands on the defender. That's just good stuff by Devin Harper.
Very nice job by him.
This is Brandon Harvey, and he fumbles it, and that's picked up by Sakeem Wright, and he will take that into the end zone. That's a stop and turnover and a score. That's devastating for the Rattlers. That's outstanding for the Austin Wranglers.
Well, and that's the one thing, you see the look on G. Nudo's face. When things aren't going well for you, those are the type of plays that tend to happen. The ball bounces and it goes right into the opponent's hands. If you're winning, if things are going well for you, this ball does not bounce straight up in the air. And you're not talking about guys being right there where they need to be. And again, you've talked about Sakeem Wright so much tonight already, and we're not even halfway through this second quarter.
Mark Lewis will put this through the uprights, and he gets it, making it 21-7. Austin over Arizona. As we head to break, we'll take one more look. Brandon Harvey gets popped. The ball pops up. That's Sakeem Wright with the recovery, and he'll go in. This is Arena Football on FSN.
Toyota's 50th anniversary celebration is on now with the biggest Toyota selection in history. Check out the fuel-efficient Prius or the stylish Camry. Get up to $2,000 in extra value package savings on a 2007 Prius, America's #1 selling hybrid. Or get 3.9% financing for 60 months on a Camry, 2007 Motor Trend Car of the Year. It's Toyota's 50th anniversary, but with these great deals, you're the one getting the gifts. See your Valley Toyota dealers today.
Buckle up. It's a new season of full throttle racing. From pit road to the checkered flag, Around the Track gets you fueled up with behind-the-scenes action, interviews, and news on the hottest drivers on the circuit. You're in the driver's seat on Around the Track, Sunday night at 10. Get premier coverage of your D-backs on the Diamondbacks Insider, the one place where true Arizona fans can get the latest news and revealing player profiles all season long. Diamondbacks Insider, Monday at 6:30 and 10 on FSN Arizona.
The ultimate weekly poker tournament comes down to this. The final table is set as Gus Hansen and the world's top players battle it out for a total purse of over $6 million at Australia's most exclusive casino.
Wow.
See who will be crowned champion of the Outback.
Oh, you're kidding.
FullTiltPoker.net presents the Aussie Millions. The finals begin tonight on FSN.
Do you know your credit score? Do you know what's in your credit report? You can find out for free right now at freecreditreport.com.
Knowing my credit score helped me save money on my home loan.
Now we can monitor all 3 of our national credit reports every day.
It helps us save money and check for potential identity theft.
Just a few clicks, and I get my credit report and credit score free.
Log on now to freecreditreport.com.
Offer applies with the Roman Triple Advantage.
Welcome back to the U.S. Airways Center as the Arizona Rattlers are losing to the Austin Wranglers right now, 21-7. Now, it's time now for our EA Sports Arena Football League rule. Now, any legal drop kick that crosses the line of scrimmage can be advanced by the kicking team. And why this comes up, Austin last week employed this tactic. Take a look here. Mark Lewis kicks it, and it's recovered. And look at this. This is a fantastic play. That's understanding the rules, finding a way around the rule book, and how do you interpret a rule so that it helps your team. Good job by Brian Partlow and the Austin Wranglers with that one.
Yeah, it was a nice job. It was a way of capitalizing on a little-known rule. And then second of all, remember, that did not count because even the referees were confused on that.
And the thing is, it should have counted. It was a legal play. The ball has to hit the ground first. You kick it, it goes past the ball marker, and then you can advance it. And this ball hits off the facade, just as we were talking about.
And now Daryl's upset that they're calling it.
Yeah, he wanted that return, didn't he? All right, so Seth Bonner and the Arizona Rattlers get a chance at maybe a little bit of redemption. They're down by 2 scores. They've been stopped twice. Austin has done a fantastic job defensively. I want to, again, you got to point out Sakeem Wright in there. He is not in there at this point, but he's done a great job. Matter of fact, Sakeem Wright trying to figure out if he should be on the field or not. Take a look.
Yeah, they're not sure exactly what they're doing, but they have done what they need to do, that's make this Arizona Rattler football offense go the entire length of the football field.
And that's Bonner to Atnaf Harris. And that'll give them about 11 yards, good enough for a first down. At some point, Bonner's got to take shots down the field. They have to threaten, or you can only play underneath so much. And as you said the last time the Rattlers had the ball, is that the more opportunities that your defense has to make stops, the better. And you know, this game is so contingent on scoring every time you have the ball, that when it doesn't happen and you have more plays and more bad things happen, you're going to lose a lot of ball games that way. It explains why the Rattlers are where they are in the standings. This is a pitch to Bo Kelly. Took a little block by Rupp out there, and it's good for about 16 yards, something you don't see often in the AFL.
But you don't see it very often, but the Rattlers have employed this quite a bit this season. Bo Kelly, you see the numbers there, 67 carries for 164 yards, 11 touchdowns. But you got to watch Zach Rupp, as you pointed out. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of 300-pounders able to get out like that, get their helmet on a defender and open up a lane like that. And the other thing is Bo Kelly, very patient, waits for something to open up, and then when he sees it, he explodes through the hole.
Bo knows rushing records. How about that?
Is that Bo Jackson?
I think it might be our Bo Kelly. He is a longtime AFL player. He sends Atnaf Harris in motion. And this is a simple read route on a post corner. And it's there for the touchdown. Atnaf Harris in motion, comes up. It's a post corner read. Cedric Bonner and Atnaf Harris, they read it the same way this time. Easy pickings for the score.
And you wonder why certain quarterback-receiver combinations have so much success. It's because you know where the receiver's going to be right there. Harris in motion disappears from your screen. But what they do is you look at the defensive back. If he's playing a little inside, receiver's going to go outside. Defensive back outside, I'm going to go inside. And if you're on the same page, it looks very, very easy.
Christopolakos is in. Corrects. It's now 21-14. Austin over Arizona. Live from the USA Wear Center's Arena Football on FSN.
It was my worst nightmare. I was away on business and my wife called. Someone had broken into our house. We got lucky. They just wanted our things. What if the guy had still been there? I've never felt so helpless. I called ADT the very next day.
ADT can help protect you from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save more than $250, plus special discounts for AARP members.
Protecting my family is the best investment I ever made.
ADT, always there.
Why would we put a Sport Tune suspension and magnesium paddle shifters on a Lancer?
Another lap?
Let's do it. Because the all-new rally-inspired Mitsubishi Lancer.
The Arena Football League is looking for courageous men and women who can catch. What it takes to go to an AFL game near you. Call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
Hi, I'm attorney Alan Hawk. You've probably seen the many recent advertisements from the state of Arizona regarding the new DUI law enforcement efforts. They say expect the max, and at Phillips & Associates, we don't believe that's reasonable in all cases. If you've been charged with a DUI, call me right now for immediate effective help. Experienced, aggressive trial attorneys and a little or no money down to start your DUI case. Call Phillips & Associates, 602-258-8888.
Welcome back to Arena Football on FSN, where the Austin Wranglers lead the hosting Arizona Rattlers 21-14. We get ready for the kickoff. This is, I want you to say his name. It's Irish, I can't say it.
It's Pete.
Oh, Pete. All right, Pete's going to kick off.
Yes. Christopolakos.
Christopolakos is going to, Pete Christopolakos will kick off.
I only say his full name if he hits the net.
Deep is, of course, Robinson and Amy. This will be an onside kick. You love the trick. Question is, did it get far enough before it was touched. Couldn't see who recovered it. Could you? It was a scrum down there.
It looked like the Rattlers recovered, but I do not believe it went the required 10 yards.
Of course, the Rattlers are trying to say it past 10. He got it and then was smacked backwards because he was smacked. He took a shot.
It's hard, though, when you have the ball in your hand 8 yards from where you kicked it off.
When touching by the kicking team prior to the ball going 10 yards. Ball goes to Austin, first down.
We'll take a look. We'll see how far this ball gets before it's recovered. That's a little tough for us to tell. You can see the scrum. It certainly looks like it was close to 10. And this might give us a better chance. This ball's up in the air. We'll see where the receiver or whoever does touch it. Well, his feet are over the line. It's hard to tell if he is, though, and I don't think the ball actually got over.
That's a tough angle, but you know what? The onside kick, not a bad thing in Arena League because it's tough sometimes to score inside the 10-yard line, and the Rattlers have not stopped them yet.
Campbell, and he has got the receiver, and I believe that's Otis Amy.
Yeah, but you know what? Whenever you get up as an offensive lineman, I'm sure this happened to you a few times, and you're going to see number 39, Donovan Arp, a bunch of yellow around him.
Holding, 39 offense, 10 yards, previous spot, still first down.
All right, well, the next home game for the Austin Wranglers will be the Orlando Predators at the Austin Wranglers from Frank Irwin Center on Sunday, May 20th at 3 p.m. Central Time. For tickets, call 512-339-3939 or visit www.austinwranglers.com.
And Donovan Arp there trying his best to keep Asi Fa'oa off his quarterback. Holding on the play.
Well, he comes back. That's a good job, Cedric Robinson. You know, and now all of a sudden you're seeing Austin employing. You know, we can't say it enough. It seems simple because there's not a lot of defense to be played. You can play a zone, you can play a half, and you can play man. But you got to take what it gives you. And if it keeps giving you the backside curl route for 10 yards, you take it.
Well, you do, and a nice job there by Keo Craver, the defensive back from the Rattlers. They're coming up and being physical at the point of attack and making him break tackles to gain yards.
Well, Campbell will drop back this time, and you got to read, and you've got a defensive penalty, and he got away with one. I'm telling you right now, folks, that was incredible. Keo Craver absolutely took down the wide receiver. And let's take a look at Derek Lewis in motion. This is fantastic by Keo Craver. If you can do this,
watch these two right here, and watch what ends up happening. I think he gets a 10-point takedown right there.
Yeah, no call. How does that go unnoticed, I want to know? I'm an offensive lineman. I get called if my hands are in the wrong place by 5 degrees. A DB tackles Derek Lewis, the #1 receiver of the Wranglers, and it's not called. Unbelievable. Campbell back this time, and we go back to the well. It's incomplete. We got a flag down on the play.
Well, and I think you're going to see another holding call. This one.
Well, it wouldn't be another. It'd be just one.
As they discuss this one.
Well, you see Gene Nitto and the boys simply do not want to take this penalty.
Well, it's third down.
Offense number 39. Penalties decline. Fourth down.
Well, that wasn't a very good series if you're Donovan Arp. 2 holding calls on that pass rush. And again, the Rattlers have as good a pass rush as there is in arena football. And that's what they're hoping to capitalize on tonight, getting pressure on Lane Campbell and making him make some mistakes throwing the football before he was ready to.
Mark Lewis is going to attempt this field goal. He's got Cedric Robinson holding. Ball's a bit of a high snap, and he'll get it off. And it is good. So the Austin Wranglers lead the Arizona Rattlers 24-14 on the Arena Football on FSN from US Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona.
Do what we pay you to do, fellas. Do what we pay you to do. Here it comes. Run that back.
You gotta be kidding me.
I told you to watch that.
Ooh, wow, that was like the Great Wall of China coming at me.
Now let's take it slow. I can't believe this.
Do you have like a backhoe or something to pick up my dignity?
Arena Football, Road to Glory, rated E for ages 10 and up. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Sponsor team.
place on next Saturday's contest.
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
25 cents. Call 1-888-25 now and talk to lots of local girls who just want to have fun for only 25 cents a minute.
You don't have to be a millionaire to talk to beautiful girls.
25 cents. Talk if you want. Meet if you want. Bottom line, it's whatever you want. 25 cents. Call now and let's heat up the night for 25 cents.
You can say anything you want.
Anything you want. 1-888-25 cents.
Well, welcome back to Arena Football on FSN from the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona, where the Austin Wranglers lead the Arizona Rattlers 24-14 by benefit of two very good stops by the Wrangler defense. They've been getting their job done.
Well, then you hold them to a field goal. If you're the Rattlers, a lot of people can, whether it's a partial stop, a stop, everybody's got their own lingo.
I say it's a stop. Come on. You score touchdowns, what, 80% of the time? That means a stop.
Well, now what they have to do is it's imperative they score here to get the momentum back on their side. It's Mother's Day tomorrow.
It is Mother's Day tomorrow, and I like that. And did you know that because it's Mother's Day, and the Arena Football League in Spalding, they did that commemorative game ball with a pink stripe. I love that. So.
Well, I also noticed that you stole one of those because that's your Mother's Day gift.
Well, at the top of the game, we talked about Daryl Jones and his ability to be a breaker. You pointed it out. The guy on return simply gets up the field fast. He goes north and south. Again, huge advantage, but can Arizona do anything with it?
You give them good field position.
Why are you giving away my wife's gift, Well,
what it's talking about is you went and grabbed. They had to go look for an extra football to kick the game off because you got them all in the trunk of your car. Thing about Daryl Jones, he doesn't look like he's moving fast. And so guys take bad angles on him. He's one of those guys who he's running. He doesn't look like he's going that fast. And as your defensive guy, you go by how the guys run. You and I
always thought that's how I ran.
We lumber. We are not smooth runners. Daryl Jones goes a heck of a lot faster than he looks like he's going, whereas you and I, we're going a heck of a lot slower than we actually looked like we were doing.
All right, well, Chris Fagan on that reception got about 9 yards, but he goes down, and it looks like he's injured. Being attended to by the trainer for the Rattlers.
Yeah, Matt Anderson out there. Take a look, and let's hope it's just a cramp for the Rattlers' sake, because
that makes Daryl Jones have to come in as the other wide receiver. Get a look at it here, Chris Fagan with it. It's very tough to tell. It looks like he might have got it caught down under the board, but that's just speculation. Who knows? He is limping off the field as they get him off. So Bo Kelly is in.
Well, you look at the wide receiving core for the Rattlers from the beginning of the season to now, and it's just been an absolute revolving door. I tell you what, if the Rattlers want to bring me in for a workout as a wide receiver, I'd think twice about it, because it seems like anybody they bring in gets injured.
Well, they bring in a backup quarterback, Chris Sanders, to play the slot receiver. They still have Trandon Harvey in. And it goes to that backup quarterback, and he looks. And who's that big fella? That's Wendell Gaines on the touchdown. So they bring in the backup quarterback. He goes to the slot. They throw to him in the eligible pass, and they get that touchdown for that momentum that you were talking about, Dale.
Well, just a nicely devised play. You're going to see right here. Watch Wendell Gaines come out at the top of the play. You can see him right there running down the sidelines, and he is a fantastic athlete. Makes the catch look easy, gets in the end zone, but give credit to the offensive coaching staff, and that's Cedric Bonner, Gene Nudo of the Rattlers for devising that play at the perfect time, because you have an injured receiver. Fagan goes out, hey, bring in Sanders. You're wondering, oh, you're just bringing him in because you're almost out of receivers, but no, you bring him in for this play.
Yeah, and it works once, you think.
Yes.
So they got themselves a touchdown. It's now 24-21. They've got the momentum back on their side. Now they have to come up with a stop to get the possession back that they're going to lose after half when they have to kick off for the Austin Wranglers.
And see, if I'm Gene Nudo, if I'm the Arizona Rattlers right now, I'd try another onside kick.
Absolutely.
You partially stopped or held them to a field goal, however you want to put it. Last time you onside kick. Every other time you kicked it deep, they scored a touchdown. Why not shrink that field? with the chance of recovering the football and continuing that momentum.
Well, you know, we constantly stress this, that the Arena Football League, the thought process is very different than the outdoor game. You're not concerned about time of possession. You're concerned about total possessions. It's how many times you possess the ball. And if you can cut that down, or if you can get an extra one, that's what it all comes down to. So you don't really care. You figure they're going to score anyways. So you give yourself a chance to possess the ball on the onside. So it's not a bad strategy, and it does work a lot in the Arena Football League. We'll see if Christopher Lacos, Mr. Pete, as you like to call him, can get it done.
Well, the other thing is some kickers are much more adept at kicking onside kicks, surprise onside kicks, than others.
So let's see what he's got. He'll kick it deep. This is Richardson, and he will field it out of the net. He'll take off. He has to attempt to bring it out. He does so, and he gets himself some good return. And he'll get all the way out to the 15. That's a great return for Cedric Robinson.
Well, I believe every Arizona Rattler had one shot at him, and some of them had two.
Yeah, it looked like it the way he was getting out of there. And he actually picked up a little hold on one side as well, and you'll see it after he cuts back to the other side of the field. You know, this is how the game's played. You got to grab a little shirt if you can. You take a look on your side right there, and that was, I believe, Deveron Harper coming in there, number 7 for him, grabbing a little shirt, giving him about the extra 2 or 3 yards.
Well, you grab the shirt, and then you let go of it before the referee gets his head turned around.
Yeah. What he sees can't hurt him. Now here's Lane Campbell's numbers: 7 for 11, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. But hey, no interceptions, no turnovers for the Wranglers. That's huge. Here's Campbell. He finds
Sakeen Wright.
Sakeen Wright, the linebacker, coming in at the wide receiver spot, which he started at wide receiver, played a lot of linebacker, was out of the game for a couple of series from the linebacker spot, but he's now back on offense as a wide receiver. So,
all right,
he's got Derek Lewis, Sakeen Wright, and Otis Amy in the game for him right now as his wide receivers, and Donovan Arp at that running back spot.
Trivia question for you. I'll let this play go, but where is Rowan College?
I believe it's in Maryland. It's Division II school. That's Lane Campbell out to Derek Lewis along the boards. That's good for 6 or 8, and they're taking their time trying to get Campbell comfortable. You know, and it takes a lot more than a few plays to get a quarterback where he feels like he knows what's going on out there.
Well, and he's just like you said. You watch what he's done this first half.
So was I right? Was Rowan in Maryland?
Well, I just figured you have played them, what, 3 times or 4 times when you were there.
Wow. Huh? I don't know where you're going with that. Well, we're at the 1-minute warning. Austin up 24, Arizona 21 on the Arena Football on FSN.
Love this 7-layer dip. You can't jump with dip. No, it's a 7-layer crunch wrap. 7-layer dip wrapped up. See? It's good to go. It's good to go. That's good to go. Uh-oh.
Taco Bell's new 7-layer crunch wrap. Party beans and warm nacho cheese sauce layered with cool sour cream and guacamole. Wrapped up and good to go. To get the great taste of 7-layer dip, think outside the bun.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface. It often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
Fasten your seatbelts for the ride of your life as your Arizona Rattlers take to the field at U.S. Airways Center for the 2007 season. Last season's smash hit, a high-octane thriller. Bonner puts on the performance of the year. Great affordable family fun. Gatewood delivers Ironman performance, a must-see for true football fans. It's your Arizona Rattlers and the defending Arena Bowl champs Chicago Rush, May 26th, with Obadiah Parker featuring Matt Weddle, presented by The Edge 103.9. Arizona Rattlers football. Get in the game.
Welcome back to the Arena Football on FSN, where the Arizona Rattlers trail the Austin Wranglers 24-21. Austin Wranglers with the ball, second and about 3 on the 14. Lane Campbell back. He's got Donovan Art behind him. Cedric Robinson to the bottom. Derek Lewis in the slot, and Otis Amy at the top of the screen. This is Robinson in motion. He'll take the pitch. He's got a good lead block from Art and Aaron Gibson, and gets himself the first down. And that clock will run as they got positive yards. They're down to about the 10. So 53. Oh no, it won't run. Excuse me, because that's a rule that they used to.
No, there's a timeout.
Excuse me.
No, you are correct.
Yeah, the positive yards, it's got to run. It's got to run.
Last minute of the game is usually when you see that happen. Teams try to run out the clock. You got to gain positive yards. You can't just take a knee.
But the reason Austin's doing it now because they get the ball coming out, so they're going to view coming out at the half as an extension of this possession. So if they don't score, they get the ball anyways coming out.
Well, another thing you'll see is I think that timeout was actually called by the Rattlers, who want to have some time left on the clock to try and score. Because remember, in the Arena League, you only need 10, 12, 15 seconds on that clock to score a touchdown.
All right, well, this will be Lane Campbell. Got Arp in motion. And he'll pitch it to Amy, who fumbles it, and it's recovered by the Rattlers. So if there was something bad that could happen here at Austin, this was it. And a poorly designed play to pitch the ball that close to the trailing man, who is Amy. Now the Rattlers have the ball. They've got the stop. They score, and they're right back in the possession game as far as who's got what.
Well, you got to wonder about the call right here. Like you said, they got the lead block set up here, but Amy is about 1.5 yards away from him, and the pitch
hits him right in the face.
Hits Amy in the face mask. Tough to catch it there. Plus the speed of the pitch. It's got to be a gentle toss, Glenn. It's got to be a gentle toss.
Well, you and I can handle the tough stuff, but Amy, a receiver,
quick hands, soft hands.
Yeah. All right. Well, Cedric Bonner. He's got Adnap Harris out. He throws to Darrell Jones underneath the return man, and that's how you get a return man the ball as a wide receiver. Don't ask him to run the route. Get him the ball where he can make moves and become a return man every time he touches the ball.
Well, that's the thing. You find guys, some of these kickoff returners who are only good touching the ball 4, 5, 6 times a game with their explosion, but if they get tired at all, they don't have that same explosion.
Well, now we see Austin taking the timeout because they want the ball back before half so that they can get that possession back.
Folks, if you're tuning into your first Arena Football League game, the first half can go by in about 45 minutes until you get to the last minute, and then that last minute could take you another 45 minutes by the time it's all said and done.
It's not unlike basketball in that sense, because again, it's about how many times you get your hands on the ball. Don't worry about how long you have it, how many times you get your hands on it. So we'll see what Cedric Bonner and Gene Nudo have in store for the Wranglers. Wranglers defense has played very well today. Now, you really got to credit those guys up front, on defense, the Prager, Smith, and Richardson, as well as Williams, who's come in and played well. So Bonner will drop back, and he's looking deep. He's got Adnap Harris, but just overthrows him. Adnap Harris had a step on the defender, and just that was Nate Coggins. But the ball just a little overthrown, and we've seen this a couple of times now out of Cedric Bonner, particularly on the longer throws. He's a little bit out of sync with his wide receiver.
Well, he overthrew him there. Harris, who was actually acting like he was going to pick a defensive back and then exploded down the sideline. Said Bonner, you're going to see the pressure come on him. And again, if you're Ced Bonner, if you're the Arizona Rattlers, not too much of a collision there, but you don't want guys around your legs, because when guys fall, guys stumble, all it takes is you just bump into a knee, and there could go a tendon, there could go a ligament, and you could be out.
Yeah, you catch a part of the turf with your foot. Puts pressure.
And some innocuous little bump could be the end of the season.
Well, Arizona takes a timeout now with 34 seconds remaining. And
I thought you'd catch on to the innocuous and compliment me.
I thought you were going to inoculate somebody. Yeah. I didn't know what you were doing with innocuous.
You really just skipped over it while we have him here. Rowan College.
Yeah,
you guys played there 3 or 4 times when you were down at U of A.
Well, we always use them as kind of a tune-up game to get ourselves ready for you guys. Because we figured if we could beat Rowan, we could beat anybody.
So you really think it's in Maryland?
I think it is. It's Division II school. I know that. And they've done very well in the past in football. I believe they won a couple Division II championships or have been in the playoffs to a high level.
It's always fun to go through rosters and see some of the schools, these these guys went to. And again, not that they're bad football schools, but some of them have some funny names.
Well, they're just smaller schools you haven't heard of, and that's, I think, a lot of ways how you get these guys, because they haven't had that exposure, they haven't had the big time experience, and this gives them the experience, and then sometimes they get to that next level. Let's see what Cedric Bonner and the Rattlers can do. He's got Fagan over the top in motion. He will drop, and he'll look for Fagan across over on the boards. There was a lot of contact in that play throughout, and Damon Mason was on him quite a bit. But it's that type of bump and hit that the officials are going to let go. And once again, Bonner not accurate down the field.
Well, and they're allowing them to play, and it's imperative as a wide receiver that you adjust to the physicality of the game as the game goes on.
All right, well, let's go down to Kevin McCabe on the sidelines. Kevin.
Well, you saw Cedric Bonner throw to Curtis Fagan there. When Fagan got hurt earlier on in the ball game, that was all a ploy. It was a fake. He did not get hurt. They put Sanders in for a design play to throw the touchdown pass, all by design. Fagan is fine. He's back out there. Brandon Henry, though, did suffer a sore right foot. He's being looked at right now.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. A fake.
I look at the referee who threw the flag. There's going to be illegal contact down the sideline there.
And, you know, this is the type of call I think as a fan you're upset about. Damon Mason simply used the sideline and the board as another defender. He just ran him into the boards. I don't know that he so much used his hands on him. I think it'll be interesting to see what the official says here.
Pass interference defense, 10-yard penalty, results automatic first down.
David Mason's upset. If you look right at the top of your screen, it's hard to see here, but as it comes in here, you'll see he's just running with him and uses his body to kind of push him into the boards. You know, it's one of those things. It is illegal contact. Is it holding? Is it interference? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, there was contact. The ball was catchable. All I ask for and all these players ask for is consistency.
No, that's probably true. I don't even ask for that, to tell you the truth. Cedric Bonner trips coming out of the backfield. He'll try to roll away from it, won't get there, and takes a shot for his efforts.
We go back to that last play, and every once in a while it's kind of fun to see some of the things that happen outside. Now I want to watch number 42 right here, the referee. Now his name is Billy Beckett. He throws the flag, but it's on a string. It doesn't. He doesn't.
Just kind of flying around out there.
And the players are going, hold on. Did you pull it back, or did you mean to throw it? I don't even know what that got caught on, but awful funny to watch how the players reacted.
It's the little things that keep us amused.
Yes.
You know,
and only linemen notice stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know,
I mean, otherwise we leave a very bored line.
Yeah, well, when you know, the thing is, and for fans who don't know, both Dale and I were offensive linemen in professional football for many years, and you know what it is, Dale? When you're in an offensive line meeting room where you're watching film, you have to watch each position. So, and each position has to be watched about 5 times. So that's 25 rewinds of every tape. That gives each guy in the room a lot of time to find something funny on that film. And it happens constantly.
If you have thin skin, you're not walking the offensive line meeting.
Oh, there's a penalty here as Cedric Bonner takes the snap and stops. They blow the whistle. We'll figure it out. I think they're calling defense offsides, but we'll.
Unabated to the quarterback, number 91.
We love unabated.
5-yard penalty, still second down.
We love the unabated. Well, Dale, for you, that means nobody was trying to slow him or stop him.
So unabated means like
in the clear,
like number 91 right
yeah,
here.
Right
when
there.
you're talking about number 91, Ramon Richardson could have really came in and hurt that.
Now, does that mean you can, if you're unabated, you can abate somebody? I don't, you know. So the other guys are abated.
I'm still, you're using unabated. I'm still wondering if you even know how to spell innocuous.
I don't even want to try that word.
Vince Amy stepping in for Steve Mascoro, who got his knee or ankle rolled up on a few plays ago. And Vince, we talked about him earlier. He caught the touchdown pass, and he's filling in defensively. Just a jack of all trades, doing a really, really nice job for this Rattlers football team.
Notice that now Harris in motion. He instead throws out to Chris Fagan, who goes to the sideline trying to stop the clock. There's 15 seconds left.
But here's the funny thing, and every time you see an arena game, you talk about it, you're doing it, you're always saying, hey, you want to score with no time left on the clock. Well, you know what? It's always a fine line because you still want to score.
Hey, and so, you know, the other team gets a snap.
Right, but you still got to score. And so sometimes I think you almost put so much emphasis on running the clock all the way down. You still got to get the ball in the end zone.
Well, we'll take a look, see if the Rattlers can get that done against the Wranglers. And just at now, Harris, and that's where he'll throw, and it's picked off. That's a bad decision. They're calling it an interception. Remember, Cedric Bunner down the field has not been accurate tonight. And that's another example here. He tried to get too much done too late, throws it towards the sideline, and brings it just back off that board a little bit. You take a look here. He's looking out at Harris, and he throws it behind him, and when he does, it's picked. Now Austin has the ball. There's 8 seconds to go. They can attempt a couple shots downfield before they decide just to end it.
Nice interception there by Damon Mason. And when you're throwing the ball to the corner, when you're throwing the ball to the side, you cannot throw it inside. You have to put the ball outside where only your receiver can catch it, or it's incomplete.
So now Arizona lost that possession. That's another stop. So they're down a possession now. Not only are they down the 3, but Austin, depending if they score here or not, gets the ball coming out at half. So it's another possession there behind. So and I can't stress that enough, how many times that you have to get the ball in your hands as an offense to keep this game even.
Well, it's interesting here. You look at the Wranglers, and you would think that they might try and kick a field goal. 3 seconds left here in the half, but they do not have the kicking team out there.
But you take a look. There's a pretty good hit here. You look at Keo Craver here. He's going to give a little shot into the boards. Smack him up a little bit. You like that.
Keo Craver, very physical defensive back for the Rattlers, and you've just seen him mature and grow as the season's gone along. And he is doing exactly what Mike Church, the defensive coordinator of the Rattlers, wants their defensive backs to do, be physical.
All right, well, the next Rattlers home game is the Chicago Rush at the Arizona Rattlers from the U.S. Airways Center on Saturday, May 26th at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. For tickets, call 602-379-2333 or go to www.azrattlers.com. All right, as we get set here, there's the Austin Wranglers. They have a chance. Now, you mentioned they should just kick it, but also, but they don't have that kicker. They might just try to run out the ball because they do get the ball coming out at the half. But they're going to go. Glenn Campbell's going to throw it long, and that's Derek Luke, and it is incomplete and through the boards and out. And that is going to wrap up the half, where the Austin Wranglers are up 24-21 over the Arizona Rattlers. A half in which the Arizona Rattlers gave up way too much on offense and way too many stops. You just can't do that if you're Arizona. You've got to maintain possessions, and they haven't been able to do that. So that's the downside. Austin, on the other hand, took advantage, and that's the things they did. They took advantage of every stop they got except for one in which they didn't get in. Let's go down to Kevin McCabe with Brian Partlow, the head coach of the Austin Wranglers.
All right, Coach, you got a big stop there right before the half. You get the ball to start the second half. Will you make any adjustments? You look at the scoreboard, you've dominated, and yet you only lead by 3.
Yeah, it's the toss play really hurts us over here. We got to stay out of those situations. We're going to try and keep doing what we've doing, and that's be efficient on offense and keep making big plays on defense. Those guys have made a few big plays here in the first half.
You happy with what Lang's doing for you?
I am so far. We've got to play better offensively. At the receiver position, I particularly think we've allowed ourselves to get held a couple times. We got to be more physical, but other than that, we just got to keep plugging away.
All that, you still have the lead. We'll see you in the second half. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, well, thank you very much. We'll head to break now as Austin Wranglers lead 24-21 over the Arizona Rattlers on Arena Football, live from the U.S. Airways Center on Fox Sports Net.
No matter what kind of business
guide, visit louisianatravel.com.
Welcome back to the U.S. Airways Center. The Arizona Rattlers trailing the Austin Wranglers 24-21. We're at the half. Kevin McCabe here sidelines, and we welcome you to the Russell Athletic halftime report. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside. Of course, this game featuring teams from Texas and from Arizona. A lot of basketball fans also have their minds on a basketball series involving these two states. The Phoenix Suns and the San Antonio Spurs, they played game 3 tonight in the Alamo City. The Spurs winning 108-101. The numbers tell it all. Tim Duncan with 33 points, 19 rebounds, and 3 blocks. The Matrix, Sean Marion, delivering for the Suns in an offensive effort, and yet they weren't able to contain Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. The Spurs win game 3, 108-101. to take a 2-games-to-1 lead in that best-of-7 series with Game 4 on Monday night in San Antonio, with the series shifting back here to Phoenix for Game 5 on Wednesday night. Of course, that series, an exciting series in the NBA. So much more to come here at halftime. The boys will break it down with all the highlights. We've got it coming to you from the U.S. Airways Center here in Phoenix. It's 24-21, Austin leading Arizona. Back with more after this timeout.
We're right here on the corner in Glendale, Arizona, with deals you won't believe. Cars, trucks, and SUVs. West Valley's got them. You're gonna wanna. West Valley Nissan, it's time to believe.
West Valley Nissan is the fastest growing Nissan dealership in the West. With great deals like those 7 Frontier King cabs from $13,985. If you're in the market for a new Nissan, go west. 48th Avenue in Glendale.
West Valley Nissan, it's time to believe.
Announcing the grand opening of Trend Homes at Vistancia, named one of the 10 top-selling master plan communities in the nation. 3 exciting new communities: the Colony, the Cottages, and the Villas. All now offering remarkable values on homes of distinctive and quality construction, including Anderson wood windows and patio doors. Right now, Trend Homes at Vistancia is featuring detached single-family homes with 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths from just $209,950. For more information, go to trendhomes.com. Trend Homes, built for living, built for life.
Next week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, it's Best Damn's Weird, Wild, and Wacky Talent Show. Urban Ninja, Bow and Arrow Girl, Rubber Boy, and more. Join special guest host, the star of Jackass and Wild Boys, Steve-O, as he goes wild on our set. Thursday, it's going to be weird, wild, and wacky. Only on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Next week at 11.
Their skill, their focus, it's what got them here. But it's passion that will drive them to the ultimate prize.
Yes! Absolutely! Oh! Beautiful
NBA playoffs, Game 6 on FSN Arizona.
Welcome back to the Arena Football on FSN, live from the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona, where the Austin Wranglers lead the Arizona Rattlers 24-21. As we take a look at the standings, the Arizona Rattlers at 2-8 desperately need this win to stay within any realm of getting a playoff berth out of the Western Division of the American Conference, where San Jose has the lead. Take a look at Los Angeles and Utah. Now the Wranglers, of course, they're in it as well. They need to win. Georgia, the best team in the Arena Football League right now at 9-1 and definitely on top of everybody else. So Austin has to stay tight with New Orleans and Orlando if they have a hope of getting a playoff spot as well. As we head to break, it's the Austin Wranglers 24, Arizona Rattlers 21. The Arena Football on FSN.
In racing, the lucky dog is the guy who gets his lap back after a caution flag. But at Aaron's, everybody's a lucky dog. At Aaron's, you can get a lap back on your credit no matter what your situation is, because there are no credit checks at Aaron's. You're pre-approved. And Aaron's has the lowest prices on name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers, guaranteed. Come see why everybody's a lucky dog at Aaron's. Attaboy, Lucky. Good dog.
Got 1 week, and then I'm giving these up. I'm going to quit for good. But I've just got to get through that 1 week. It's going to be like cutting off one of my own fingers. I'm going to miss it, but you know what? That's the way it's got to be for a little while. But right now, this sure seems to be my buddy. He's got 19 other buddies waiting in the box. I have to stop now. That's a promise to my wife, my kids. I'm done. But I need the 7 days.
Welcome back to the Russell Athletic Halftime Report. We take a look at the first half stats. Of course, Take a look. Arizona with those 11 first downs. Big time of possession, but it's all about stops. Turnovers 2-1, and that's the difference in this ball game as Austin is up 24-21 over the Arizona Rattlers. Let's take a look at those first half highlights. Hey, we talked about the quarterback, Lane Campbell, doing a great job getting it done. This is a guy that came out, he found the people he had to find. Amy in the corner, and then take a look at this one, Dale. This is a good job, but he's got him all the way down on the sideline. That was early on. Hey, Lane Campbell's pretty happy.
Well, he's done a very, very nice job stepping in, doing what the coaching staff wants him to do, leading this offense and not turning the football over.
Arizona, on the other hand, Vince Amy, he gets one from Mom. You got to love that. So Otis Amy, Vince Amy, they got their job done. That's a good job. Mom's happy. The Amy brothers have scored. But the story here, again, it stops 3-1 in favor of Austin. The turnover's big, and in the AFL, it's always about possessions.
Well, it's always about possessions, always about turnovers. You can control the clock, you can do all those things, but if you do not put the ball in the end zone when it's your turn, you're going to lose football games.
Yeah, no, Austin gets the ball coming out in the second half, so that's another possession for them. They're already up by 3. That's going to be a big thing. If they get points, Arizona is going to be chasing the rest of the half.
Well, and you'd like to see the Arizona offense become a little more fluid. They're not in sync. Seth Bonner's not in sync with the receivers. I think you'll see the Wranglers play a little bit better, too, in the second half.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. This has been the Russell Athletic Halftime Report, live from the U.S. Airways Center. Russell has what it takes on the outside.
Do what we pay you to do, fellas. Do what we pay you to do.
Here it comes.
Run that back.
You gotta be kidding me. I told you to watch that.
Wow, that was like the Great Wall of China coming at me.
Now let's take it slow.
I can't believe this.
Do you have like a backhoe or something to pick up my dignity?
Arena Football, Road to Glory, rated E for ages 10 and up. EA Sports, it's in the game.
How are they going to be able to look past this and focus on next Saturday's contest?
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
The IFL brings you mixed martial arts only team fighting competition. The International Fight League on FSN. This week, it's a fierce showdown as Don Fry and his Tucson Scorpions look to slay the Toronto Dragons. Friday on FSN.
On an all-new CMI with Chris Myers, Barry Zito on his relationship with Barry Bonds.
I always felt that he was a real nice guy.
And being baseball's richest pitcher.
You have to be twice as good as you were.
The Chris Myers Interview on FSN.
It's television's most prestigious fishing tournament, FLW Outdoors, where top anglers compete for the right to be crowned world champion. Tomorrow on FSN.
Welcome back to U.S. Airways Center. Austin leading Arizona 24-21 at the half. Gene Noto, the head coach of the Arizona Rattlers. What do you say to your guys? A lot of big turnovers in the first half. What do you say to them? What kind of adjustments second half?
Well, we just got to make plays now. You know, we got a couple touchdowns on gimmick plays. We got to get back to playing regular football now, move the ball and score touchdown passes. We lost another receiver again in the first half, so we're just trying to keep the wheels on the boat here.
All right, good. Best of luck in the second half. Guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. You know, Arizona is going to be chasing this possession now if they don't stop them. And this is tough, Dale. They've got to come up with a defensive stop right here.
Well, things could be worse for the Rattlers. They could have allowed them to score at the end and not.
Oh, that's right.
Austin leading Arizona 24-21 at the half. Gene Noto, the head coach of the Arizona Rattlers. What do you say to your guys? A lot of big turnovers in the first half. What do you say to them? What kind of adjustments second half?
Well, we just got to make plays now. You know, we got a couple touchdowns on gimmick plays. We got to get back to playing regular football now, move the ball and score touchdown passes. We lost another receiver again in the first half, so we're just trying to keep the wheels on the boat here.
All right, good. Best of luck in the second half. Guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, thanks, Kevin. You know, Arizona is going to be chasing this possession now if they don't stop them. And this is tough, Dale. They've got to come up with a defensive stop right here.
Well, things could be worse for the Rattlers. They could have allowed them to score at the end and not in.
Oh, that's right.
And not inside. But take a look at that gorgeous Mother's Day ball. There
I have one of those in my trunk.
There's one. You had 3.
Well, I got my wife. I got my mom.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law.
It is a pretty football.
You know, I do like it. I'm going to see if I can't smuggle one of those out.
It is Mother's Day tomorrow for all those people who have put your shopping off.
Well, now, some people might be asking why the pink for Mother's Day. Obviously, it's a commemorative ball for Mother's Day, and all the proceeds going to that cancer research, and that's so important. So, the B Foundation for Cancer Research. This ball off the net. That's Cedric Robinson with the ball. He'll get out. Stops at the 4 and gets stopped. Not only stopped, but get stopped.
Very, very nice job by the Rattlers kickoff coverage team as you were going to follow the football and see exactly where that one is going to go. Although, I'm not sure. Yeah.
That goes back to a yellow FJ in the parking lot into the trunk, please.
They're all looking at going, hold on, why does that have Parker on it?
Hey, you get what you can. There's not a lot of perks to this job, Dale, but what perks I do have, here they come. All right, Lane Campbell under center. We will find 8. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Sakeem Wright. That's good enough for a first down.
Well, another thing that we really haven't talked much about, and again, the revolving door here with the Rattlers, a bunch of injuries, a bunch of things have happened to. I mean, they're signing guys, and they're immediately having to play. You look at the defensive backs, Art Smith, William Fields, a week ago. They weren't playing anywhere.
Yeah.
Rattlers signed them. Not only do they sign them, but then they start last week.
Well, let's flip the script then and talk about Lane Campbell. You know, 3-6 Austin here had Adrian McPherson, who was the 2004 Rookie of the Year when he was at the Albany Firebirds. And now you got Lane Campbell just trying to find his man out there. That's Derek Lewis, who didn't quite get it done. Of course, that's a couple of big fans trying to get in the ball there. Do you think that's fan interference, Dale?
It's interesting because they're going to have to see where the ball was, but that's part of a home field advantage here in arena football.
Yeah, well, he reaches right over and grabs it. Derek Lewis and not happy.
Well, those 3 fans right there are at every Rattler
let's take a look at it.
Football game. You see Lewis run a pretty good route here on Fields, takes a wrong angle there as the ball touches his hands, and he does take it right out of his hands. Nice play by the Rattlers fan.
Well, Derek Lewis had
interfered with the pass.
There you go.
By rule, we'll repeat first down. Clock operator, reset the game clock to 13:45. 13:45.
It does penalize the Wranglers.
That's a complete pass. You know, he's got the ball in his hand. This fan takes it out of him. So I guess if you're a fan down there, you know if it looks like it's going to be caught, do what you can to stop it. It doesn't hurt you.
I tell you what, if they need another defensive back next week, you might want to look at signing him.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, here's Lane Campbell out. He's got Amy at the bottom. He's got Sakeem Wright in the slot. He'll look, and that's Sakeem Wright on that dig route, and he gets nailed. Takes a shot in the back and runs into the board for his trouble, but it's complete. And they're going to spot that ball up around the 12. You know, this is one of those, this is a man, what you call a dig. And it's, does he go post or dig? And he goes dig. Now listen to this hit at the boards.
Ow. And that is solid wood, folks. And that's part of concentrating on the football, knowing you're going to get hit and knowing the boards are coming at you about 100 miles an hour and still hang on to the football.
Well, you don't run 100 miles an hour. He might.
Right.
Oh. That's fan interference again. It sure looked like that fan got his hand out on the ball. Look at him. He's not me. I did nothing. But I don't think they're going to call it saying the ball was not in the field of play.
No, I think that ball was definitely in the first row of the seats, and that's why they will not call fan interference.
Let's take a look here.
Coming right into your living room.
The Hawaiian shirt down here.
You might make that catch, and you know what?
I think that's fan interference. He's over that board.
That's exactly the same thing happened on the other side.
Right.
But you know what? If you're a hometown fan,
there's no penalty to you.
Well, grab it.
Yeah, there's no penalty because otherwise you just replay the down. So what? So here's Lane Campbell. He'll drop back. He's looking for Amy over there, and he's got Amy, and that's a touchdown. Wranglers take advantage of the possession at the start of the half. They're going to go up if they make this extra point. It's now 30-21, looking to make it 31-21. Again, you'd say, are they doing what they have to do? Yeah, they scored when they had to score. They've stopped when they had to stop. Here's Lane Campbell, and he's got Vince Amy right over the top. Easy score for a touchdown.
Well, Lane Campbell's done a nice job, but I want to give some credit up front. Heimberger, Thomas, Gibson, guys who the Rattlers thought they could take advantage of with the pass rush. Those are the offensive linemen right now protecting your guy Lane Campbell, giving him time to throw the football, and those guys have done a very nice job up to this point in the football game.
All right, we're going to see Mark Lewis here attempt the extra point, trying to make it a 10-point game. See if he can put it through that small slot. Good hold. Got the ball down, and it's good. 31-21. We're going to take another look at this as we go to break. That's Otis Amy on the score. It's 31-21, Austin over Arizona.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface. It often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
The Arena Football League is looking for courageous men and women who can catch. Go to an AFL game near you. Call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander. Out everything. Everything.
I was walking down the street. I saw the poster.
Welcome back to U.S. Airways Center, where the Austin Wranglers are leading the Arizona Rattlers 31-21, 11:41 left in the third quarter. We go back to that last touchdown. We're talking about protection. Take a look at this. There's not a Rattler anywhere in his view. There's not a Rattler anywhere around his body. And I know it's very difficult to play quarterback, Glenn, but when you don't have anybody around you, it's a heck of a lot easier to play the position.
Yeah, one of the things we always talk about is how comfortable are you in the pocket. And as being an offensive lineman as well, seek to let your quarterback be comfortable. If he's comfortable, everything works. If he's feeling things at his feet, at his back, at his head, all of a sudden he gets jittery, that ball's out, and you've got stops.
Well, not only that, but if it happens once or twice, then ghosts start appearing sometimes, especially with young quarterbacks.
Another big return. I'll tell you what, Daryl Jones, he's giving Arizona chances. He's giving them the help they need, just not getting it done.
Well, he is fantastic. Watching him a few times this year, and he's coming back from an injury, missed most of last year, the first half of this season. He's got some talent. He's one of those guys you wonder, boy, if he gets a chance in the National Football League, could he be one of those guys who just strictly a punt or a kickoff return?
Chapman,
those
are guys that, think it too right off the bat. Antonio Chapman from Chicago, who went to the Packers, and then Rasheed Davis from San Jose, who went to the Chicago Bears. Two guys that have gotten it done. Harris, Cedric Bonner finds Adnan Harris on that back stop route, gets himself 16 yards. Arizona's got to answer score for score here and hope that the defense can get something done. So we'll see how soon Bonner does try to get into the end zone. You're starting to crowd that field now.
Well, and we gave credit to the offensive line, offensively, defensively. Damon Mason, number 2. Nate Coggins, number 24. Devon Harper, number 7, doing a nice job in the defensive backfield, keeping everything in front of him, forcing Cedric Bonner to settle for his second and third option.
Bonner's back, and he's looking over the top. That's Trandon Harvey, and that'll be a touchdown. So Cedric Bonner finds Trandon Harvey. So Arizona answers. Arizona gets done what they have to get done. And now it's up to Pete I don't even want to try.
Christofalakos.
Here we go.
We talk about giving your quarterback.
There it is.
Some protection. He does that because it's pretty good coverage there by Harper. Ball's put right where it needs to be, and Harvey brings it in.
Here comes Pete Christofalakos. And he's going to attempt this extra point. And it's good. And they return volley. 31-21. Austin over Arizona. Look at Bonner. He loves it, doesn't he? Arena Football on FSN.
No matter what kind of business you run, you'll run it better with the Discover Business Card. Need to pay vendors who don't take credit cards? Use fee-free purchase checks and still earn rewards. Need to turn expenses into income? Get 5% cashback bonus on office supplies and get 2% cashback bonus on gas. With solutions like fee-free purchase checks, you can take charge with the Discover Business Card.
It was my worst nightmare. I was away on business and my wife called. Someone had broken into our house. We got lucky. They just wanted our things. What if the guy had still been there? I've never felt so helpless. I called ADT the very next day.
ADT can help protect you from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save more than $250, plus special discounts for AARP members.
Protecting my family is the best investment I ever made.
ADT, always there.
A day, a month, a year, like no other, begins now. Win tickets daily for monthly cash prizes and a chance to take home the ultimate 7707 prize. The 2007 Year of Luck has begun at Casino Arizona. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back to Arena Football on FSN from the U.S. Airways Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, where Austin leads 31-28 over the Arizona Rattlers. There's Cedric Bonner, the second player in AFL history to surpass 40,000 passing yards. Andy Kelly down at the Voodoo. I don't know if you know him. He's been around forever. He's the first one. Good return by Cedric Robinson, and he laid Christofalakos out. That's when the kicker comes up for a tackle, you lay him out. Cedric Robinson said, hey, Pete, take a seat. That's fantastic. I love seeing kickers get hit.
I was going to say, most kickers you see with single digits, 2, 3, 4. You're going to see the end there. Robinson doing a nice job and says, oh, hello.
Oh, I love that.
Come on, Pete, you got to break down. You got to get a base. You got to hit the shoulders. You got to look the lick in. But most kickers don't have double-digit numbers. If you're going to wear 22, you better bring a lick when an opportunity presents itself.
I'm right there with you. All right, Lane Campbell back. Looks right out. This is Oksani. Get himself 6 or so. Little scissors route out there.
Well, I think we kind of skipped over it a little bit, but I mean, 40,000 anythings, much less 40,000 career passing yards.
40,000.
I know, and that's, you're very prodigious and you're proud of that. It's taking you a long time to do it.
Yeah, I do my best.
But 40,000 passing yards, congratulations, Seth. Couldn't happen to a better guy, a leader for his football team, and he's been with this football team for so long.
Have you been like studying like a thesaurus? Because you broke out innocuous, you broke out prodigious, you broke out some words. I mean,
I did.
You're normally not this bright, so I'm asking.
Well, you got to remember, I have a freshman and I have a 6th grader. And I do spelling words with the 6th grader.
Okay.
I couldn't pass the spelling class, but I can at least read them out to her.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Well, Lane Campbell hoping to keep the advantage to the Austin Wranglers. He's got Amy and Robinson down below, and he's got Derek Lewis in over-the-top motion. That'll be Derek Lewis. And he'll look, he's got a post corner route, and he'll come back instead to Amy on the short. Amy makes a man miss. That's a big job. That gets him the first down and gets him down to about the 12-yard line. So he looked at the post corner route with Derek Lewis over the top. It was well defended by K.O. Craver, or K.O. Craver. I can have a hard time with his name. I'm having a hard time with a lot of names today. And instead, waits, comes back. That's a lot of maturity for a young quarterback.
But why can he do that?
Lots of protection.
The protection up front, and again,
you weren't an offensive lineman, were you?
The Rattlers coming into this game thought Wendell Gaines going against Heimberger or Gibson had the advantage. So far tonight, not been able to.
Well, that ball batted down, and that's a good job by Arizona's defense. Campbell was trying to find Otis Amy on the little just slant, and batted down. One of the things, you always forget this, but offensive linemen need to know the routes. Why? Because you've got to know where the pass is supposed to come out. That's, and a lot of people don't know that. Offensive linemen know there's trip words for them, and they know what routes are coming, so they can block accordingly. They know they got to get a guy's hands down on this route because it's going to be a slant on the front side. The ball gets knocked down if you don't do it, and that's a good case of it.
Because if you don't know that, you could be pass blocking, your guy having him stymied on the line of scrimmage, he jumps out and knocks the ball down.
That's right. Now here's Campbell. He looks up for Derek Lewis, and this one will go into the cheerleaders.
Do you think he was distracted?
He might have been.
Or do you think that Lewis said, hey, just toss it over there. It'll be an incomplete pass.
I haven't seen that. Let's get it down to that corner.
Well, now here we go again. And we pointed out in the first half. It was third down. Last time they completed the pass. Like you said, Otis Amy make a guy miss, get the first down. It's third down again. Can the Rattlers stop them, or the Wranglers can continue this drive?
Well, they got two tries at it, and that's the main thing. Austin doesn't need to get all 10 now. Glenn Campbell can try and just get 5 or 6 if he has to. But he's going to go, and he's going to look Derek Lewis, and he'll drop that ball. And that, I don't know whether he was intended for Derek Lewis or he was trying to go over the top to Otis Amy. They were both in that zone, kind of hard to tell. We'll take a look. Lewis is on the ISO here, right in the slot, does a good job of coming underneath, gets a little hold, not bad. Probably should have caught that ball. If you're a receiver, you got to catch a ball, hit you in the hands, plain and simple.
Art Smith, pretty good coverage there, but I think that was intended for Lewis, but in the back of the end zone, Otis Amy was wide
now, Austin's
open.
going to go for the field goal here, and I disagree with the move because it doesn't put you a touchdown up. I think you got to go for the touchdown here. So they'll take the field goal, and they'll make it. But the problem is you're up 34-28, you're only up by 6. So Austin in charge, 34-28 on Arena Football on FSN.
Do what we pay you to do, fellas. Do what we pay you to do. Here it comes. Run that back.
You gotta be kidding me.
I told you to watch that.
Ooh, wow, that was like the Great Wall of China coming at me.
Now let's take it slow. I can't believe this.
Do you have like a backhoe or something to pick up my dignity?
Arena Football, Road to Glory. Rated E for ages 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in the game.
How are they going to be able to look past this and focus on next Saturday's contest?
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
Respect for others has to be a part of every team's game plan. Make sure your kids listen to their coaches and respect the decisions of the officials. Remind them that win or lose, they must treat their opponents as they would want to be treated. This will make them better players and part of a better team. Sportsmanship is just one of the lessons we learn from this great game of football.
Learn how you can play, coach, or volunteer for youth football. Visit usafootball.com for more information.
Welcome back to U.S. Airways Center here in downtown Phoenix. Austin leading Arizona 34-28. Kevin McCabe working the sidelines here, and the Stars come out. High school football legend, a guy's name who was synonymous with state champions in the 90s at Mesa Mountain View, Bernie Buskin. Now the head coach at Western New Mexico, building champions out there right now, getting your program going.
Yeah, we're trying to do that. We had a great spring this year. We're still in the process of doing a lot of recruiting, and got an afternoon and evening off, so my wife came shopping and I came to the game.
You like Arena Football? Are you intrigued by this?
Yeah, it really is. It's real exciting, very athletic, and it's really a neat game, I think.
You still got some roots here in Phoenix and in Mesa. You'll take some kids over there, and obviously we're on the air in Austin. Get kids from all over the Southwest to come over there and build that program?
That's right. We our base is New Mexico and Arizona and El Paso, but any place we can find players, we'll get them.
This guy's a winner. He's proven it throughout the years. He'll be doing it in Western New Mexico. They open against NAU. Well, that's my alma mater, so I'll have to worry about that one when it happens. Guys?
All right, thanks, Kevin. I know they play football, but they don't play much hockey at NAU, do they? Arizona Rattlers up 28. Oh, excuse me, Arizona Rattlers down 34-28 to the Austin Wranglers. The Wranglers, I think, I really thought that was a mistake in going for that field goal. I know people say, well, you've got the lead, you've still got the lead, and you're up by 6. But you know what? A touchdown, which is, again, almost 80% of the time touchdowns are scored, or maybe a little over. I forget what the exact stat is. If you're going to score that many touchdowns, you got to figure they're going to do the same. They're going to be up on you. You've given away your stops at this point.
Well, and I totally agree with you. You take a look at a little extracurricular activity back there in the pocket as you got Jerry Sharp going at it with Dane Krager. But I'm with you. A touchdown here and you're 1 point down. And plus the odds of kicking a field goal in this league. It's tough.
It's very tough. You know, your extra points are like free throws, and your field goals are like field goals in basketball. If you hit 60%, you're pretty good.
Yes. And the thing is, you weren't second guessing. You were first guessing.
I was first guessing. This is Chris Fagan down on the boards. He takes a shot at the boards by Sakeem Wright and Damon Mason.
Now, I want to ask you this question. Back when it was a two-way league.
Yeah.
Could you have played?
No, too big. You know, and I thought about that. Back when it was a two-way league, and remember, this is the first year it's not, the offensive linemen were smaller, defensive linemen were smaller, and you had to pick what you wanted. Did you want offensive linemen to protect who might rush the passer, or did you want to try to get defensive linemen who you might be able to teach to protect? I couldn't have done it. I was too big. I wouldn't have wanted to do it. Watch out, guys! Bo Kelly on the little handoff. He gets out. It's about 5 yards. Arizona being very conservative, making sure they get down. They plot along. They have to get a score here. They get a score here. Those stops from the previous half are gone. They're off the slate.
Everything, you're back. You're going to be 1 point
You're back on
up,
serve.
You know, as long as you make the extra point. And now, that whole first half to where you were struggling a little bit, that's gone by the wayside. And both these teams, let's face it, both teams have struggled so far this season. So any signs that you are on the upswing, you're going to play that much better. Things are going to go that much better for you.
Yeah, and both these teams, as we said, they have to have a win in order to just keep any hope alive for the playoffs. Now remember, Chicago at 7-9 made the playoffs and won the championship. So it can't happen. That's at Paris. Down about the 2-yard line. That's a nice throw by Cedric. That was well thrown, on target, where it had to be. He hasn't been as accurate as he has in the past. We've said that all night, but he looked pretty good right there.
Well, he did. He put a little extra zip on it there to get the ball in front of Devron Harper there, again, who had pretty good coverage, able to fit it in there as they drive the football down the field. And the one thing I do want to say, both these teams, you're talking about the Rattlers 2-8, you're talking about the Wranglers 3-6. We saw those 12 PowerPoint teams. And the 12th team is making the playoffs, and they're talking about 4 victories.
Yeah.
So nothing is said and done yet in arena football.
Well, there's a little bit of miscommunication, and it looks like he tried to hand the ball to Bo Kelly. Bo Kelly almost gave it back to Sed Bonner. There was definitely a miscommunication. It almost looked like he wanted to pitch it and then wanted to. It looked like Bo Kelly thought it was supposed to be a pitch. Sed Bonner thought it was supposed to be a handoff. You take a look. Uh-oh. No, I think I'll just keep it and try to get it in myself. And he does it. And credit Damon Mason, credit Ramon Richardson. Those guys get in there and make the tackle and make the stop. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, and then let me say the other thing there. Give credit to Sed Bonner, because how many quarterbacks are going to try and just toss that ball in there? It could have been a turnover. The young football lived to see a second chance.
All right, now bad news. Now we know Trenton Harvey was hurt a little earlier, as Kevin McCabe told us. Here he is in the end zone. They're holding his, looks like his eyebrow. I don't know.
Looked like he might have got poked in the eye, and even though you have face masks, sometimes a stray finger gets in there, and it doesn't look like he's in huge pain.
Let's take a look. Right there in the slot. We'll
right
see
there.
See if we can see a finger hit him in the face, or right there. Yeah, right in the eye. That'll hurt you.
Yeah, and obviously it was unintentional. There was nothing meant by it, and people think, oh, you know, you have a face mask on, but again, your fingers are long, and sometimes you just reach it out there, and it just misses wherever that face mask is, and that hurts.
Now, when you were in a pile and fingers got in the face mask, you ever try to do anything?
You know what, I did, and not a whole lot. I was never around much that happened in piles.
No?
I really wasn't. I don't know.
There's not a lot going on in piles. Because people think there's more than there is.
Right, because I think that the guys have so much respect for each other and know that
Oh, I don't think that at all.
I think they did.
I think they were just too darn tired to do anything. I was always sucking wind, man. The last thing I want to do was try to hurt somebody. I don't think there's anything about respect.
Oh, I see. I think there is a little bit of respect.
Oh, they're going to go right back, and there's Bo Kelly.
There you go.
Head-on touchdown, and there we have it. Now, it's up to Pete Christophilakis to make this kick. And I'll tell you what, if you're Arizona and you get this kick, you have everything going your way now, and they've got to keep that then through the rest of this half.
Because you've got a young
great
quarterback for the
Wranglers. Great blocking up front by Rupp, by all the guys up
back
front.
in there. You got Jerry Sharp. Nice job. Guys coming there. Zach Rupp filling in. Obviously,
hey, Bonner's kind of happy. What do you think?
Obviously, it was meant to be a handoff because that's what they did.
Yeah, they went right back to it, and he missed the extra point. So, all that for naught. We're right. Wait.
It went through.
We have a guy saying it went through. It sure looked like it hit the net. I'm at a bad angle, but apparently it's good, and it's 35-34. Pardon my, that's twice I've made that mistake tonight. I must not have very good eyesight.
Well, the other thing
is, last month.
For those people back in Texas watching, I mean, Pete Christophilakis stepped in last week. Gary Kroll was the kicker for this team for the last year and a half. Had missed a number of extra points, had missed a number of field goals in exactly situations like this that could cost the team a football game. Give credit to Christophilakis for making it.
All right, I'll give you credit, but you know what? On Sunday,
yeah,
you know what time it is?
What time it is?
Oh, well, Sunday, June 10th, it's Formula One racing comes to Fox for the first time as some of the world's greatest drivers attack the streets of Montreal in the Canadian Grand Prix. Coverage begins Sunday, June 10th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox. I like the open wheel stuff.
Well, now, I was going to say, I asked you if you could go both ways in Arena League.
I can't fit in one of those
cars.
Could
you fit in one of those cars?
No, you couldn't either.
Come on now.
You got me by
Bruce
2
on the
biscuits.
TV. You actually look pretty good for a guy who used to weigh 325 pounds.
And you look good for a guy who still weighs 325 pounds.
It's all how you put it together.
All right, well, return coming, said Robinson. Brought down hard. And you gotta love Ossie Faoa gets in there and makes a nice wrap-around tackle. That's the type of tackle that Pete Christophilakis should have made the last time. Take a look at here.
But the difference
is his helmet right through him.
Ossie Faoa obviously has done a little more tagging than Christophilakis, and you see him come right into your living room. Hello.
That's a good job.
Faoa, though, 6'4", 280 pounds. Now, do you know where UCLA is? Did you guys ever beat them when you played?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, beat them, I think, 45-7.
Really?
Yeah, on national TV. Thank you very much. Where'd you go to school, by the way?
SMU.
SMU, huh?
Yeah. You heard him.
Do they even play football there?
Well, you know what? See, I don't look forward. I look back.
Yeah,
Once I left,
not only are you at a program,
downhill.
not only were you at a program that died, you were in a conference that died.
So they killed everything when I left.
Everything done.
You know, you've heard Eric Dickerson, Craig James, Dale Hellestray.
Well, you're putting yourself in that company, are you? All right, well, Lane Campbell back. We got a mix here, Pac-10, Old Southwest Conference, as we watch Arizona and Austin. That's Derek Lewis. He's got the first down. You know what? I'm very impressed with Lane Campbell at quarterback. He's not only has he been patient when he's had to be patient, he's taken his shots when he's had to take them. That's a good job as we see Derek Lewis right here. And we'll take a short break. It's 35-34. Arizona over Austin on the Arena Football League on FSN.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface. It often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
Honey? I think this might be our lucky day.
I think it might be.
I think this is what we've been waiting for.
I think it is.
Yes!
It turned blue!
Introducing the Coors Light Cold Activated Bottle. The mountains turn from white to blue when your beer reaches the perfect temperature.
It's blue like your eyes.
My eyes are green.
Only from Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Your Valley Honda dealers are revving up the savings on the most fuel-efficient cars in America. The race to savings is on. Be a winner in your hot new Honda Accord with automatic remote entry, cruise control, and more for just $199 a month. Or 2.9% financing on Accords and Civics. The race to savings is heating up daily at your Valley Honda dealers.
Ooh, you know you got the Honda fever.
Feel it. Get in the game. Come on. Perfect.
Let's get it going, D-backs.
Tonight on the FSN Final Score presented by DirecTV, the Suns and Spurs battle it out in Game 3, while Tiger Woods looks to make his move at the Players' Championship. All of that and more tonight on the Final Score.
Arena Football on FSN is brought to you by EA Sports Arena Football. Road to Glory, in stores now. By New Orleans, home of Arena Bowl 21, Sunday, July 29th. And by Champ Sports, official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League.
Well, welcome back to the Arena Football League on FSN. The Arizona Rattlers hosting the Austin Wranglers and winning right now, 35-34. We got a ball game in the fourth quarter, Dale, and that's what you asked for in a league. It goes down to the wire. Little pitch out. Nice little toss to Amy there. You like that little over-the-top motion, quick throw, try to catch him running.
Well, what happens in this game is that, you get the ball in the hands of an Otis Amy, and you break one tackle as a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to do. Every time you get the ball in the hands of one of your playmakers, give them a chance to score a touchdown. Nice tackle there. Both teams have done a pretty nice job defensively. That's why you see 35-34 in the fourth quarter. That's relatively low scoring.
Cedric Robinson on the pitch, and he'll take it. Cedric, I like the way he runs. He's always looking to punish somebody at the end. I mean, I don't care how big the guy is. He's putting his helmet down, trying to hit you hard and knock you around. Lane Campbell getting the play in right now. The clock's ticking. Look at the size of that man.
You're talking about Aaron Gibson. I mean, look at the
dwarf, Cedric Robinson.
I mean, just the sheer size. And you know what? I know he's a big guy, but it's not. I mean, you can see him here, 96 right there, as he comes across, and he kind of tweaks his hamstring a little bit there. We'll see how long he stays in the game. Yeah. I mean, a little tweak on a big hamstring or a big tweak on
that's a big tweak on a big hamstring.
75 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I don't believe offensive linemen ever moved. Heimberger doesn't think he moved.
Yeah, Gibson's trying to get a little attention from the coaches, and they're really not paying him a whole lot of mind.
No.
For some reason, they used to rotate defensive linemen in. You go 5, 6, 7 plays, boom, new defensive line. Why did somebody decide let's rotate offensive line?
Yeah, they never decided that. Explains why I was stuck in the wind most of my career. Lane Campbell finds Robinson against the boards. He'll be out of bounds, but he'll get himself about 4. Campbell, again, we talk about the patience, and Gibson is finally coming off. They realized his hamstring. I think he's cramping.
Yeah, I think it's more of a cramp than a pull.
Yeah, it looks more like a cramp because he's trying to keep that leg straight and stretch it out, and he'll go to the sidelines. Trainers are finding him, but Cedric Robinson's playing an all-around game. He's returning kicks. He's smacking people when he has the ball, and he's doing a good job on the receiving side. So here we thought Derek Lewis was really going to be the guy, and yet Otis Amy and Cedric Robinson are coming up big. That's Cedric Robinson in motion. Campbell will go back. A little bit at his feet, but he'll let it go. That's Cedric Robinson in the corner, but nothing there. And we have a flag on the play.
And you know what? We just talked about Gibson coming out. Watch the matchup right here. Now, Wendell Gaines, quiet all night, sees new blood in there. Ramon Richardson having to come in at guard. First snap, what happens? Boom, they smell fresh blood. Puts on a nice pass rush. But hits the quarterback a little bit too late there. Gives them an automatic first down and better field position.
Yeah, Wranglers will take advantage of this. They'll be down now about the 6-yard line. And the thing is, with Campbell, the way he's been throwing the ball tonight, he has not put too many balls out there in harm's way. Almost everything has been catchable by his guys or not at all. I like that play out of a young quarterback. He's been patient, and he's been smart. Just as he said, he puts it right across.
He almost put the old whammy on.
Almost took that one.
Yeah, Grant Steens, you know, I mean, you get that opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. Ball in your hands as a linebacker, boy, you got to make that catch. But just like you said, that was about Campbell's third option. You see him, he's going to look left, feels a little bit of pressure, throws off his back foot, doesn't have enough zip on the ball. You know he's going to his #1 guy, and that's Lewis. Wasn't open there. Nice job by the Rattlers.
This is Amy in motion now. Campbell will come back and he'll look right over the middle. And finally, he looks for Lewis, can't get it. It bounces off, and it's intercepted off the net, and that's a live ball. That's a Rattlers stop, and that is not what Austin needed. That's a great stop. That's a heads-up play by William Fields. This ball's overthrown on Lewis. It bounces off the net. Fields keeps his head up and finds that ball as it's coming off that net. That's incredible reactions. Take a look at this as we head to break. He catches this ball right off the net. Arizona with the advantage, 35-34. Arena Football on FSN.
No matter what kind of business you run, you'll run it better with the Discover Business Card. Need to pay vendors who don't take credit cards? Use fee-free purchase checks and still earn rewards. Need to turn expenses into income? Get 5% cashback bonus on office supplies and get 2% cashback bonus on gas. With solutions like fee-free purchase checks, you can take charge with the Discover Business Card.
You know, all AFL quarterbacks have favorite plays.
So what's my favorite play? My favorite play is 50 pig switch.
Blue 92
gets him every time.
I like to fool him with the quarterback sneak.
Bishop runs it in for the score.
We should get a quick 6. Just something simple.
I'm pretty sneaky.
Right 90, wing cell, Z delay slant.
Right yo-yo 82 Poco.
You gotta throw him fast.
You gotta send him long.
Now, quarterback's gonna read this corner here.
The old 5-step drop.
No, the 3-step drop.
Are we talking about dancing or football?
Quarterback takes a quick 3 steps, hit the delay slant. And that's your basic 3-step route.
Well, we might not agree on a favorite play.
One thing we do agree on.
The best play of the AFL?
Is helping kids at Children's Miracle Network hospitals. That's my favorite.
Touchdown!
Welcome back to the Arena Football on FSN. Arizona Rattlers 35, Austin Wranglers 34. Take a look at this play. This is a great heads-up play by Fields.
Well, again, but it all starts up front here. The Rattlers finally getting a little bit of pressure on the young quarterback Campbell, having to step up, not throw in his comfort zone. He made 2 poor throws there. The one beforehand could have been intercepted by Steen, the linebacker. There it was intercepted again. Goes back to protection.
All because Aaron Gibson goes out with a cramp or hamstring.
You got Richardson
2
stepping
plays in a row. All right, well, Cedric Bonner tries to return things back to Arizona's favor. He'll throw, and it's behind Harris.
But you're going to get illegal hands to the face here. You had a very, very nice pass rush, but you cannot stick your hands in the face, Rob.
Roughing the passer, number 33, he went to the quarterback's head.
Sure did.
That 10-yard penalty results first down.
And that's stupid football. And I hate to use that term when you watch, but you know what? You've got to know better. You know you can't hit a quarterback in the head. You know you can't put your hands in his face, and you do it anyways. You know, it doesn't take that much effort to just take your hands off. You don't have to be the tough guy. You don't have to look good in front of your friends or in front of the cameras. Take your hands away, live to play another day. Instead, you give them a first down way out here, and you really haven't done anything to Cedric Bonner.
Joe Onawa, keep your hands down.
Cedric Bonner, not on the same page as either Adnaf Harris or Trandon Harvey, whichever one he decided to. We don't know who he was going to. We don't know what was right or wrong, but obviously a miscommunication there. Take a look at Bonner here.
Well, he's thinking Harris supposed to run a little hook route there. Harris thought he saw something and took off. The one thing I don't like, Glenn,
yes.
I don't like pointing fingers. I don't like people.
No,
you know what? Get back to the huddle.
Yeah.
Say we're not on the same page. Let's get it fixed.
Well, the fact is, it's interesting because Trent Langdon had stopped short. This time he goes Chris Fagan out on the boards on that back hook. But, you know, it'd be rare to have two guys stop short inside and outside on the open side of the formation in arena football. That'd be a very rare route. So I don't know what's going on there.
Well, and that's the thing. Again, and you talk to Seth Bonner, and he is basically the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I talked to him. I said, what does that entail? He said, well, basically an hour and a half more per day for me. Him and Gene get together. They write up the scripts. They do those things together. And that is the time spent that he has to put in. And then you can go as a regular player to practice.
Arizona 4 for 6 off there. They'll now be 1 for 7 for that strike. Cedric Bonner finds Adnan Harris down inside the 10-yard line. And that's a nice throw because it's a little bit of a comeback route. You know, you throw it behind your wide receiver and he just stops. You know, it's one of those things that's kind of come in vogue in the last few years.
Well, you know,
look here.
Again, in my mind, starts up front. You give Seth Bonner some time. And then it comes down to angles. You know, and again, you're sitting there, and David Mason has pretty good coverage right there on Harris. But Harris just comes back towards the ball a little bit, towards the wall, and you can't cover that. It's impossible to cover it if you're a defensive back.
Trendon Harvey in motion. He'll get that ball, and it'll be a touchdown for Arizona. Arizona now with a chance to extend this lead a little bit.
There was definitely some zip on that ball. And again, when you talk about throwing the football out there in the flat, especially down your end, you're going to see him coming, motion right there, head right out. A lot of zip from Bonner because you know what? Throw the football out there.
Talk about angles.
Yeah.
The DB was playing far enough back that when he made a hard cut rather than the soft corner cut into the dig rather than the poco, it made a nice throw. And Christophilakis is going to get rid of that. And Christophilakis takes one heck of a shot for his trouble. So it's a 7-point lead. So they lose the advantage they had. It's now 41-34. Arizona over Austin. Arena football on FSN.
Fasten your seatbelts for the ride of your life as your Arizona Rattlers take to the field at U.S. Airways Center for the 2007 season. Last season's smash hit, a high-octane thriller. Bonner puts on the performance of the year. Great affordable family fun. Gatewood delivers Iron Man performance. A must-see for true football fans. It's your Arizona Rattlers and the defending Arena Bowl champs Chicago Rush, May 26th, with Obadiah Parker featuring Matt Weddle, presented by the Edge 103.9. Arizona Rattlers football. Get in the game.
Their skill, their focus, it's what got them here. But it's passion that will drive them to the ultimate prize.
Yes! Absolutely! Oh!
NBA playoffs, Game 6 on FSN Arizona.
Tonight on the FSN, final score presented by DirecTV. In the NBA, the Warriors try to recapture the Magic at home, facing an 0-2 hole to the resilient Jazz. And to Sawgrass, where Tiger tries to tame his struggling putter and get back in contention of the Players' Championship. Plus, on the ice, the Western Finals get underway. The Ducks and Red Wings continue their chase for the Cup in the Motor City. All that and more coming up tonight on the FSN Final Score.
Welcome back, Arena Football on FSN. Arizona 41, Austin 34. It's time now for our ADT defensive play of the game. Well, there was 2 of them. If you recall, a couple of fans got involved in the action. Right there, the fan steals the ball from Derek Lewis. And then over here, the man with the Hawaiian shirt puts his hands out. That's the ADT defensive plays of the game. ADT. That's good home security. You got fans out there jumping and grabbing the ball.
And actually catching it. They didn't just knock it loose.
Grab that
ball. They caught it.
Well, here's Christophilakis' kick. It'll be returned by Cedric Robinson, excuse me, and it won't be. He'll knock it out of bounds. Had a grab on it, but lost it, mishandled it, and out it went.
Well, it's interesting. Again, you think about extra points.
I don't often, no. It's not something that just pops up in my head.
Unless you miss it.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless you miss it. Then all of a sudden, there's just a little bit of a letdown.
Well, think about it. Arizona would be up 2 possessions, but for that extra point. When I say that, because you'd have to go for the Wranglers would have to score a touchdown and then score another touchdown based like a 2-point play. I know people say, well, it's a 2-point play, but it's still having to score another touchdown. So it's really a 2-possession game at that point, not a 1-possession game. Now it's back to 1, so Lane Campbell can operate, and he's got Derek Lewis wide open, and that's a touchdown. Great job by Lane Campbell, great job by Derek Lewis, and Austin is right back where they wanted to be. They kicked the extra point, and they've erased that deficit. So.
And that's how quick this game can change. Art Smith on the coverage there, or lack of coverage, gets beat pretty quick. And it's not a shame to get beat in arena football, but what this Rattler defense has done is made the Wranglers work all night long. They haven't had any easy plays until that one.
Well, now it comes down to Mark Lewis tying this game on an extra point. We'll see if he can get the job done. Cedric Robinson, the holder. Snap is good, and Lewis will put it through. We've got a tie game on our hands, Dale. Campbell to Lewis, results in a touchdown, results in a hug. Tie game, 41-41, Arena Football on FSN.
Do what we pay you to do, fellas. Do what we pay you to do.
Here it comes.
Run that back.
You gotta be kidding me. I told you to watch that guy.
Ooh, wow, that was like the Great Wall of China coming at me.
Oh. Now let's take it slow.
I can't believe this.
Do you have like a backhoe or something to pick up my dignity?
Arena Football, Road to Glory. Rated E for ages 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in the game.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface, it often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
Why would we put a sport tune suspension and magnesium paddle shifters on a Lancer?
Another lap?
Let's do it. Because the all-new rally-inspired Mitsubishi Lancer.
We are back in Phoenix. We have a tie ball game, 41-41, Austin and Arizona. One of the reasons why is this man, Derek Lewis. How did you get so open on that play?
Just a busted coverage. You know, sometimes defenses do that. The ball's moving around so fast, and sometimes guys get caught up on defense. You know, we just take advantage of it.
People know your story. You play at such a high level. You play the NFL. Great roots in New Orleans. You've been in some tough places, but this is where you can all let it go on the football field?
Oh, yeah. I love arena football. Arena football is the best game I've played. I've been in the league, and all through college, I've never played a game with such excitement, and I love it and hope to stay.
And you're proud of the people in New Orleans and Austin.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Derek Lewis doing the job here, of course. His family involved in the whole Hurricane Katrina. He battled that. He's battling on the football field right now, guys.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Derek Lewis getting the job done, that's for sure. We got a tie game, Dale. Arizona's going to have the ball now coming out. They're going to get a shot to, return serve yet again. We're down to about 7 minutes to go in this game. We already talked about that last minute, how it can drag out, but strategy has to, you start wondering now how much it comes down to how many times can we score and how often do we have to do it at this point.
Well, and again, you need to score. You know, you need to score touchdowns. I think at this juncture in the game, I'm not even looking at the clock. I'm trying to get the ball in the end zone. If I can string out a drive, great, but I want 7 points on the board when we're done.
Well, flag on the play. He finds Brandon Harvey. That's good for a nice game. Get him out to about the 23. We'll see what the officials call here. Looks like you're going to say offsides.
It was one of those, I think the defensive line didn't get back in their stance.
Picked up their
Number 99, defense, offsides. Penalties been declined. Play results, first down.
All right, so Cedric Bonner's got Atnef Harris out there. He's got Chris Fagan. He's got Trandon Harvey. There's the offsides. You know, the defense always trying to gain an edge. That's what it's about. Defensive linemen always trying to hurt the big guys.
You know, one-on-one pass rush drills.
Oh, yeah.
And always lining up offsides. Always trying to
know the count.
Yeah. It's like you don't have enough advantage knowing it's a pass.
Yeah. and there's nobody around but you and the guy you're running with. Got another flag down on the play. Now this one, they've stopped motion on us, so we'll take a look.
3, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, Steve Mascoro, and when you're 320-ish, a little bit kind, pounds, and you flinch, it's kind of hard to hide.
They see that, don't they?
They do see it, and Mascoro playing kind of a bum knee, ankle, doing a nice job this season, but playing injured, tough kid. Got to stay in your stance, though.
And I'm going to go back to that D line for the Wranglers. I thought Krager, Smith, and Richardson, and Schroeder and Williams, that 5-man group they've been rotating through, has done a very good job of putting pressure into Bonner's feet and making him move around. Hunter this time finds Chandler Harvey, and that's the second touchdown that Chandler Harvey has dropped, and both of them come when he's fairly wide open.
Well, and that would have been a tough catch. We'll end up seeing this, but it was kind of over his shoulder, and he turned around. He's so fast. He does make a nice move there. David Mason trying to keep up with him. It would have been a nice catch, but 95, 97 times out of 100, receivers in this league are going to make.
They got to make that catch. You have to, and Bonner understands it. He knows he got one taken away from him there. So timeout on the field now as one of the boards has fallen down into the field of play, bringing the
yardage marker
down with it. So.
And that is something that's hampered the Rattlers the last few weeks, the drops. Whether it's touchdowns or third downs or fourth downs, the young receivers not being consistent.
I thought you were going to say it was the boards falling into the
field.
I thought that's what it was hampering them. So Cedric Bonner will see what he does now to see if he goes back to underneath things and the backside curl routes that he was working effectively in the first half that we're eating clock, getting him yards, but no touchdowns. We'll see where he goes from this. Chris Fagan on the bottom, Harvey at the top. He's got Atnaf Harris in motion. Atnaf Harris is the one. Oh, he overthrows Chris Fagan on the board. I thought he went a little deeper. Gets hit. Cedric Bonner takes a shot after the play. He wants a penalty. It was a pretty good hit that Rob Schroeder put on him.
Well, it seemed like it was after the play, and we're watching the football down here as the ball is thrown about 5 rows deep into the seats here by Bonner, feeling the pressure, but
that's pretty late.
It is, and then driving to the ground, I think, is the problem there. You're coming at a guy full speed, you hit him, but you understand the ball's gone, you let up. You don't want to drive any quarterback into the turf.
Offsides here. And they're all trying to help each other up. That's not too bad. That's good sportsmanship going on out there.
Well, Ramon Richardson looked like he was first off in a 100-meter dash.
Yeah, he's moving. You take a look at the top of the screen. He's rolling.
That's
Bo
what
Kelly
you call
yanks him down now and doesn't want him to get any farther. I like Bo Kelly, the personal protector, doing his job.
That's what
Lucky
you call.
He didn't get called, by the way, because it doesn't matter that the guy's unabated. If the whistle blows and you grab him and you start yanking him down, they will penalize you as well.
If the play is live.
Even if the play is dead, they can get you for unsportsmanlike conduct for grabbing the helmet like that.
That would not be very nice.
Yes, and you know, the thing is, we've talked about unabated. Well, Bo Kelly made sure that he was abated. There's Tran and Harvey. That's Ced Bonner. We got a little extracurricular punching and shoving going on, but it will not take away the touchdown to Tran and Harvey. Arizona back on top. We'll see if Christopher Lacus can make this extra point. Take a look at this replay. Tran
and Harvey, who dropped the pass earlier, runs a very, very nice route. He gets Mason turned around, knows the board's coming, able to concentrate, bring the football in, and the fans don't interfere. Very smart fans here in Phoenix.
Give him a lot of credit there, Dale.
I always thought about that, catching a foul ball, or would you actually be thinking, oh, was that my team that hit it or the other team, or you just catch it?
And he misses another one. Now this one, I tell you, this one hurts more than the last one, because now this puts them in the position of an Austin touchdown with an extra point. They're up. Well, we'll take a look at this touchdown one more time by Tran and Harvey. Arizona 47, Austin 41. Arena football on FSA.
I was picking up our son from school. One of my neighbors saw the gardener hanging around the back door. We don't have a gardener, but we do have ADT. It actually helps stop break-ins from happening.
ADT can help protect you from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save more than $250 on ADT's family package, plus special discounts for AARP members.
ADT works. Just ask the bad guys.
ADT, always there.
Welcome back to Phoenix, Arena Football on FSN. Arizona 47, Austin 41. In the pregame, we talked about Trandon Harvey being the go-to guy. Hey, how about 10 catches, 124 yards, and 3 touchdowns tonight, Dale? That's a go-to guy.
Very, very nice job. And again, what you watch with Seth Bonner is the fact that Trandon Harvey dropped previous passes, but Bonner having enough confidence in him to go back to him again, and Trandon Harvey making good on that.
Yeah, and you know, he has dropped a couple that we thought probably should have caught. But like you said, when you have that rapport with a wide receiver, you know he's going to make the grab more often than not, and they'll do that. We'll see Cedric Robinson here. It hit that facade, therefore it's a dead ball. Even though it hits the net, it bounces off the facade. Every one of these arenas has one of those little inconsistencies, one of those little perks, and little weird things that happen. And this is one of those little quirks, as we say.
That right there is the facade. It bounces
That's a
off.
C with one of those little things underneath it, by the way. Just in case you want to know.
Is it
facade.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever that is, it says Casino Arizona on it, and when it hits it, it bounces really far off of it.
Yeah. Makes it unplayable
Very
in the
much
scheme
so.
of things. So here's Lane Campbell back. He's looking up, and he's going to go all the way. But overthrows Cedric Robinson. Robinson looking, thinking maybe he had a little bit of holding going on. Lane Campbell thinking he had a little bit of holding going on. Officials not thinking there was a little bit of holding going on. And they're going to give him a second down now from the 5-yard line.
And really, the officials are the only ones that count in that whole equation. Interesting to watch these teams go against each other right now. A very inexperienced secondary for the Rattlers. An inexperienced quarterback for the Wranglers. Who is going to make the biggest mistake?
I don't know, but there's the biggest person on the planet, and Aaron Gibson is back in the game. So now there was a hole downfield on Derek Lewis. He got out of it and will make that grab. Now what's amazing on this, he's in motion. He gets absolutely held on this play and still manages to get away from Art Smith. Watch this. Fields. Fields grabs him, holds him, does a good job getting his hands out. Like, look, I didn't do anything. Lewis, great job of keeping his focus down on the quarterback and where the ball is and making that grab.
And then watch the end of this play. I mean, you know the boards are coming. You know they are. When you're a receiver, you've been hit into them so many times. You just know able to concentrate on the football.
Yep. All right, so Amy at the bottom and Lewis in the slot. Cedric Robinson comes in motion. They'll pitch to Cedric, and he'll throw. He's looking to throw, and he's going to just pour it down and go. And he's going to get smashed by his own guy and then smashed by one of the Rattlers. And he'll get out about 5 yards.
Well, and that's Heimberger, who he ran into, and we talked about that earlier in the game. But Heimberger, 6'3", he's listed at 325. The only time he looks 325 is when he's standing next to Gibson.
Yeah, there you
he's
go.
a big, big boy.
Now look at the shot he takes by Heimberger here. In about 3, 2, 1. Boom. He gets hit by his own guy, throws him into the defender. Now Campbell back. And this one's almost picked. It is picked. That ball, that's a stop. That's huge. Arizona comes up with another stop. They'll have the ball at about the 9. That ball got tipped. There was a great break by the DB. DB comes in, breaks on it, tips it, and Steen there to catch the second deflection down.
Keogh Craver, you're going to see him jump the route right there, knock the ball loose. Again, bunch of guys around the football, able to come down with it.
Hey, we talk pressure. Backside, he gets a shot. I don't know if it affected his throw at all, but he knows he's going to feel it.
Jeff Ruffin putting the pressure on there. Again, Grant Steen had a chance earlier to catch the football and interception. Dropped it. This time makes good on it.
This is a tip drill. We all know the drill. Ball's thrown. gets tipped up, you converge on it quick, get your hands on it, Steen does so.
Well, now we're down to that 1 minute. You know, you've got timeouts, you got to gain positive yards. You know, if you're the Rattlers, I don't feel comfortable with a 6-point lead.
No, and if you're the Wranglers, you're sick to your stomach. If you're a Wranglers fan, you're sick to your stomach because what you've done is just you've given away the farm here. You had a chance to score and go by a point with less than a minute to go, and you knew you would probably get the ball back one more time to finish the game out. Now, you're just trying to stop positive yards at this point because that clock's just going to keep ticking.
Well, you got that. You got your timeouts. It's going to be interesting to see the strategy here because, again, you're talking about some inexperience with the Rattlers receiver core. You got Zach Rupp, who's in there right now. Mascoro's back in the game. And this defense for the Wranglers has done a pretty good job all night long putting pressure on this Rattler offense.
Well, we'll take a look and see where the Rattlers go with this now. Are they going to go underneath routes? Now, you know, this is when, in the Arena Football League, scores happen because defenses tend to play everything short, knowing that you're going to just try to eat clock in that 1 minute. And that's where you can break out on some of your double moves, your post corners, and your pig routes where it's a post dig, things like that.
If you have the guts to call those routes.
That's true. And I have a feeling that Sed Bonner, with over 40,000 yards passing, has the guts once in a while. Maybe not here, but sometime soon. He doesn't want to go out of bounds, and he does. He stops the clock.
And Seth Bonner's looking at Bo Kelly. And
Hey,
Bo
Bo,
Kelly.
how long you been around, Bo?
Yeah,
Come on.
And Bo, obviously a guy who has a ton of experience in this league, 12 years. That's one of those things where you don't think you even need to say it to a guy with 12 years experience, but you have to get down. It's not worth the extra yard.
No.
Get down.
And Bo Kelly knows that. We'll see where Sed Bonner goes with this one now. Got the hands off the Bo, and Bo's going to get that positive yards and hit the ground smartly. Austin will take a timeout here.
Well, you watch.
We're going to head to break here, Dale. 47-41.
When hot, molten rock, ash, and gases erupt and escape from deep below the surface. It often results in a touchdown. For those who have what it takes on the inside, Russell has what it takes on the outside.
The Arena Football League is looking for courageous men and women who can catch. What it takes to go to an AFL game near you. Call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Outlander. Out everything. Everything.
I was walking down the street. I saw the poster.
Welcome back to U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Arizona Rattlers 47, Austin Wranglers 41, as we see Ramon Richardson heading into the locker room. So the Rattlers up by 6, trying to keep the clock running. It's 3rd down and short. They got, obviously they'll do something to get the first here, and then you got to figure out a 4th down possibility for them. And they will go for that breakout. And there's Trandon Harvey, and he'll get that touchdown. He better drop. Drop! Oh, he didn't drop. That's where you got to be smarter. You know, Dale, his own teammates were trying to tell Trandon, hey, listen, hit the ground. Trying to tell him to just sit down so we can eat more time.
And what's kind of humorous is Bo Kelly is yelling at him, and Bo Kelly was the one who ran out of bounds. Again, you watch this Wrangler defense. Very nice move there. Nice catch. Goes for the strip there.
And notice that the Wranglers think he's going to stop. Look at there's Harris saying, "Hey, drop," and he doesn't drop. So now
so people understand what that does now is the Rattlers have to kick off. With the Wranglers score, then they can onside kick and they can get 2 possessions. And they can serve timeout.
That's right.
5-yard penalty, still on the try.
So when you say, oh, now it's a 2-score game, that doesn't really wash away the fact that let's go ahead and run more time off the clock or let them burn timeout.
That's right. You wanted them to burn a timeout because now it's 53-41. You're going to try to put yourself up by 13. Austin gets the ball. We know in this league you can score very quick, so they do. If they get the onside kick, which happens quite often, and score, they're up, and now Arizona's trying to stop clocks with their timeout. So that's the whole reason you want him to sit down. Now Bonner, they're going to go for, it looks like they're going to say they're going to go for 2 here. Try to make it a 2-touchdown game. And that's a hold in there. Yeah, he wants it, and I know, listen, Adnap Harris is saying where was the hold, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's now a 12-point game. Austin played it right. A lot of time left in this game with 41 seconds to go. You take a look at this touchdown. Again, little fake handoff, and Bonner knows he's got the guts to take that long shot, and he does so. Now, of course, Coggins goes for the strip. Doesn't even attempt to take him down, assuming that Shannon Harvey is going to drop. And he doesn't drop. He goes in for the score.
He's hoping he goes into the end zone.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what they did. And Shannon Harvey turned around and kind of looked, well, a little bit of that needs to go to the coaching staff, the fact that you had a timeout.
Yep.
You call everybody over, or your skill guys. You remind Bo Kelly. You remind your wide receivers. You remind Seth Bonner, even if you don't think you need to, as they're talking about it right now.
Did you see Gene Nudo shaking his head?
But it was one play too late. So again, I think the coaching staff is a little bit to blame for that.
And also, you have to blame your quarterback a little bit. If he's an offensive coordinator and a coach, the way we talked about Seth Bonner, as great as it is, he's got to remind him, hey, get down, get down. And
we need the first down, then we need to run ball.
Drop it. So we'll see Christopher Lacus with the kickoff here. This ball come up, and this one's off the iron, not off the facade. Cedric Robinson always looking to punish people. He'll get out to about the 16th. So now Austin with the ball. They've got to score as quickly as possible with 36 seconds to go. Down by 12. So Arizona now, they can play a softer D farther back and say, we're going to give you a lot of underneath stuff. You're going to eat clock, but you can't give them enough that they can get down close enough to score within 2 or 3 plays.
Well, not only that, but you want to try and keep them on the field of play, not let them get out to the boards and stop the clock in that phase.
There's a little quick out to Cedric Robinson.
And sometimes it's a little bit easier said than done trying to keep guys away from the sidelines, because that's where all these routes are designed to go to.
Well, now it's just a matter of what can Arizona do to keep Austin from getting 2 possessions, because odds are Austin's going to get a touchdown if, you like to think that way if you're Austin. And
yes,
you have to think that way if you're Arizona. Because if you don't think that way, you're sure to have trouble. There's a flag down. This ball goes up into the stands. As you know, someone's going to get to keep that ball.
I think you're going to get your choice of holding on one of the guards, whether that's Big Aaron Gibson or Big Craig Heimberger.
Holding 75 offense.
That's
10-yard penalty.
Heimberger.
Repeat second down.
I hate when the only time we talk about them hardly is when they get those penalties.
We've given them some.
We've given a lot of
kudos tonight
to these offensive lines. And let's take a look. There's Heimberger on your right-hand side of the screen. It's an under move. He just wraps around him just a little bit. That's really hard to tell, I think, don't you?
I mean, if that's me, I'm not wanting that call.
Not at all. Lane Campbell back. He's going to look, and he's going to get a lot of pressure. He'll dump off to Lewis. That ball's incomplete, and that'll stop the clock with 19 seconds to go. And a 12-point lead for the Rattlers, up 53-41.
Well, that's the kind of pressure that they had talked about getting all night long. And you have Gaines going against Gibson. Coming out the left side of your screen here, Gibson with that bum hamstring.
Well, and he's coming out of the game again. Whether it's a hamstring, a knee, a calf, we don't know. It's one large piece of meat, whichever one it is that's hurting.
At war, you're going to have to learn the system of intelligence. It's a different kind of war with different enemies.
For the next 3 decades, he helped build the most powerful covert agency in the world.
The CIA.
And the nasty little secrets.
You're the guys that scare me. You're the people that make big wars.
Now we make sure the wars are small ones. The Good Shepherd, rated R. In theaters Friday, December 22nd.
The gifts you're looking for, the gifts they're looking for, all in one place. LL Bean. For Christmas delivery, call us or shop now at llbean.com.
With all the skin creams out there, it takes an expert to choose. My expert choice? Total Effects.
Fight 7 signs of aging with the #1 beauty editor recommended anti-aging cream, Olay Total Effects.
I gotta tell you, business is booming. FedEx helps solve all our shipping challenges. Overnight, ground, even the heavy stuff. FedEx Express also ships internationally. These things are selling like hotcakes in India. India, huh? Now, isn't it difficult to ship there, you know, with customers and all? Yeah. With online tools and a dedicated customer service team, FedEx makes it easy.
Goose, this is Iceman. We've got a wild bird.
FedEx. International shipping made easy.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
The intelligence of downhill assist control. The RAV4 from Toyota.
Who are you shopping for?
My secret Santa, Rick from accounting.
What's he like?
His name is Rick, and he works in accounting.
Oh, he sounds neat.
Get a SanDisk 2 gig USB flash drive for just $39.98 this week at Staples.
Who is on your list? My mother.
Does she like junk mail?
No.
Neither does this thing.
Ooh, that really shreds.
The Staples Mail-Made Shredder fits on your kitchen counter, only from the Department of Unexpected Gifts.
Tonight, Jay's All New with Lucy Liu from 1 vs. 100, Bob Saget, and Snoop Dogg, plus getting punked at the gas pump.
Show me your tongue.
Then on Conan, Jude Law, SNL's Kristen Wiig, and the Brian Setzer Orchestra, all new tonight. And this week, Matthew Fox hosts an all-new Saturday Night Live with Tenacious D this week. 50 contestants from 50 states with one thing in common.
I'm tired of being big.
Now, with only 2 episodes left till the live finale, be there and discover how much weight a country can lose.
The Biggest Loser has given me back my life.
Biggest Loser, Wednesday, 9/8 Central on NBC.
Wednesday, 10/9 Central. She sees what the police can't.
Will it hurt, Doctor?
And now, a serial killer from the past returns. And the only one that can stop him
We can see you!
is next on his list. All new Medium, Wednesday, 10/9 Central on NBC.